was celebrating the emancipation from
By
his
the way,
womb.
oh, I was about to interject and be like, "Wait a minute, we're live. Hold on." But no, emancipation from womb, totally fine. I'm not gonna get demonetized for that. For what, like, none
what
I make off of
monetization,
that. Yeah,
anyways?
exactly.
Monetization?
What are you gonna do? Demonetize me? Fuck you, Twitch. Oh my god.
Demonetize your lack of money.
Yeah, right.
You
You're gonna
can't
try
have
and
any
take
money.
money back from me because you didn't give me any in the first place. So, all right.
God,
So
I'm logging on.
you're logging on to what? Roll20 finally.
Yeah. Hey, you shut your mouth. I forgot, okay?
Oh man. Okay. Finished pugging one. All right. So this is episode 3 on Twitch so far of iHunt, Fear and Loathing, where our monster hunting group has been relentlessly tracking down a sewer witch that has been requested to make contact with by the Sisterhood of the Dark Sun, the matronly and daycare-esque coven out on out in one of the richer neighborhoods of Las Vegas. So far, somebody want to wrap it up for me? What have you guys experienced so far?
Good. Who's doing the recap this week?
If I could remember exactly what had happened, I would. I know.
We
I know
split
what-
the party. I remember that.
Split the party.
Yep. Mhm.
We broke the #1 rule of Scooby-Doo.
What do you mean the #1 rule of Scooby-Doo? They did that every episode.
Which is
Let's
why
split up
we
and look
shouldn't
for
have done
clues,
it.
gang.
That's for another reason, and that's a different kind of stream that we want to talk about that.
Jack and Jenny went to a science place to learn about some fungi.
A
I
holistic
think.
healing center staffed by Dr. Wellspring. Fuck, hold on. I need to bring up my my notes here.
Language.
Fuck.
There was the lady. She was.
You kissed your mother with that mouth?
Yes.
No.
Don't judge me. Only God can judge me.
God doesn't exist.
Dr. Wilsfield, the magical doctor of alternative medicine, who takes her art very seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And ended up impressing Jack with her knowledge of his own tradition, which he barely understands.
Interesting.
There might have been some words exchanged.
And fungus threatened, yes.
Quite, yes.
And then Clarence and Max went to go talk to an old lady who very kindly gave us some information and directed us towards halfway home, I think.
It was basically a halfway house.
Yeah. And when we got there, it was covered in cops and news people, and we
Biohazard
got our
tents.
way inside.
Yep.
And then Jack and Jenny rode in a very suspicious cab.
Straight out of the
Whoa,
1950s.
why are you suspicious of the cab? Is it because the cab driver was black? Come on, I thought we were over this 20 years ago.
Whoa!
Maybe because it appeared out of nowhere with no one asking for it.
Uh-huh,
Just a little bit.
That's what they all say.
I knew exactly where we
Came
were
out of nowhere,
going.
man.
Yep.
He happened to ask for two quarters. I mean, cheapest cab fare in Las Vegas
Hey,
right now.
Yeah.
Look, I'm just saying, don't look a gift horse in the mouth, right?
And
Don't look your fellow man in the eye.
and this is where we leave off with we're just about a couple of fun guys about to have a fun time.
Oh man, that's fantastic. That will be the title of this fucking hunt. Will be Fun Guys and the deeds they get up to.
Oh, I am afraid. I am excited and afraid.
So you guys have been attempting to track down this, what they could only come up with was the term sewer witch, and you find it fairly applicable considering that as you guys meet up back outside of the biohazard tent that used to be, I think it was New Hope Homeless Rescue, I think it was called. That one I didn't write down. I probably should have. So New Hope is currently surrounded in what looks like a fumigation tent with people in big old fucking yellow suits walking in and out of it, complete with air tanks. And there's a lot of hustle and bustle. So far, Max has managed to convince the press that they are hiding something, and that this is one large cover-up, completely unbeknownst to the press, who are currently trying to hound the police into figuring out what the hell's going on. And somebody suggested that you guys try and sneak in. And I would like to say that without some sort of... As the common sense GM here, it's going to be really hard to do without a suit. A hazmat suit of some kind. Nor might you want to go in there without some sort of a suit. You don't know. The only thing you know is that a Amazonian rainforest fungus got molded onto somebody's skin because of this sewer witch. And you're not sure what else is in there at the moment. As you guys are trying to discuss a particular way in, Jenny's phone went off. And as she kind of hurried over to the side to answer it, and you guys continued your conversation, she was called into a large buildup in one of the casinos. Since it's essentially the stagehands union known as the IATSE, not an actual play on anything. It is legitimately called that. She has to essentially take it, or she gets bumped down on the list of callers, and she might lose her place in the IATSE, depending on how many she doesn't take. So she quickly takes off, finds another cab, because you can't particularly find the one that you came in. And Jenny quickly leaves the scene. So it leaves Clarence, Jack, and Max struggling to come up with a way to enter this tent without catching whatever the fuck's in there.
Did y'all know that she worked with the Nazis?
They're not Nazis. She works on theater shows.
Why would Nazis want to work theater shows?
They're not Nazis?
Have you ever seen The Producers?
Isn't that what she said?
That's a joke for
No.
theater kids.
Yeah. No, I was specifically not making it.
Well, too bad your GM's a fucking nerd, so...
I love it. No, it's great.
As an aside,
on the
actually,
music?
it is my favorite musical of all time. I fucking love it.
It's real good.
I've
It's also
convinced
stuck in my
myself... Yep. I've convinced myself if there was any audition in 50 Miles Around Me for the role of Max Bialystock, I'd be doing it in a heartbeat. I could care less exactly how... Oh, I'd be so good at it.
Yeah.
Anyway. Sorry. My personal accomplishments aside.
Okay, boomer.
So, Nazis.
Nazis.
No. In
No?
girl.
No.
No.
Like Sound of Music Nazis? Or like...
Not. You did. She's a theater person. It's fine.
Yeah, there's Nazis in theater.
Yeah, I guessed. It's sure. Hazmat suits. Hazmat
Hazmat
suits.
suits.
Hazmat suits.
Okay.
Great.
Alright, we gotta...
So, I would like to remind everybody that you do have a few options as far as actions go when it comes to rolling your statistics or using your fate points. You can declare a story detail. So, say you wanted to declare something like, this one particular section of the tent seems to be rather unguarded. You'd be able to declare that as a story element. You can declare that there's somebody looking around that, hey, he looks like he kind of knows what's going on and does give zero fucks about what's going on. Some bored police officer or some shit like that. In fact, Max, some of your stunts revolve around declaring people on the scene, or using story details. Specifically, that's Jenny's. Work buddy. Spend a fate point to declare you know someone who owes you, essentially. Or you can go with Bullseye. You're always considered to have an aspect with a free invocation and a dilemma if bystanders are around, when you're trying to face off with an enemy, specifically, but we can probably work with that.
Yeah, I like the idea of using Bullseye, and I mean, I really like the idea of turning the press on the cops.
Yeah, that
I
would
have
definitely be
feelings.
one of those instances where I would declare that would definitely be some sort of
Yeah,
conflict, if not a
because
social conflict.
yeah, and that'll get a distraction for us to be able to, like, if we can make it a big enough.
So
Oh,
you can do that. You can also roll to create advantages on the scene as well. So say you are trying to investigate something and you like say, "Hey, I'm trying to declare an advantage based off of our scenario or the amount of people that we have surrounding it." One of the large parts of Fates that I want you guys to start kind to play with is that you guys have an obscene amount of control over the scene. I basically just kind of guide everything. I've been doing a lot of narrative control over the last couple sessions, so this is something I want to practice with y'all: is your ability to use your fate points and to use your stunts in order to kind of shape what you're facing. That doesn't necessarily mean that the encounters that I set up are going to be changed, but that can give you guys advantages that I would not have planned for had you not interacted or said anything, essentially. Make sense?
yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So you have this. We'll essentially break it up into three different zones, at least for this particular interaction. We have the crowd outside of the tape. We don't have any aspects on that. Maybe, well, what do they call it? Nuts to butts? Yeah. So it's super packed. Nuts to butts. Yeah, it was an Air Force thing. Don't ask.
Sounds about right.
Yep.
So that's going to be everybody essentially outside the tape. There's a whole bunch of people packed up looking to see what's going on. You have inside of the tape, which is essentially like controlled chaos because you have biohazard teams, you got police, you got ambulances, you got press, you got all kinds of stuff going on. And to look at it is almost like looking into an ant hive that's lost their queen. Nothing makes fucking sense there. And then you have actually inside of the tent itself, which essentially is where you're trying to get as far as zone manipulation. Once you guys get in there, we can go to the next scene and discover what the secrets the tent holds.
Okay. Can I'd like to use the stunt work buddies to declare that I know one of the EMTs on the scene who happens to also spin fire and act as a spotter sometimes.
That
And
I know people like that. That's really scary, actually.
uh-huh. Um my goal here is to do a hey, I really need to get into that tent. I I, I have a friend who's in a crisis that has something to do with this, and they are not going to trust anybody else right now. Can you get me and my friends in there so
Okay.
we can diffuse the situation?
So that's the
Because you know the
intent.
cops aren't going to fucking listen to me.
That's true. So the
Man, and I
specific.
thought we were gonna make the press go wild here.
I mean, you still can, because you can ask all you want. That doesn't necessarily mean that the police officer's going to say yes, because that's his
Yeah.
fucking ass if something happens to you guys,
Hmm.
or if something happens on the inside and he can't explain it. So we'll focus specifically on what you created for the moment. So when you spend a fate point to add a story detail, so go ahead and mark down the number of fate points that you have for using this. You can create a character whole cloth, so top to bottom. It's totally your character, who has an inherent tie to your work history and owes you. So tell me a little bit about this police officer.
EMT.
EMT, my apologies.
You're good. Her name is Amy. She spins occasionally with us on the weekends, but like mostly her schedule is completely hectic because most EMTs only get one guaranteed day off a week, and even that's like depends
Yeah.
on what the fuck's going on. But like over the past couple of months, we've like bonded a little bit, except for that one time that she wrapped a fucking fire whip around her neck right before we got rid of the damn thing because it needed to be gotten rid of anyway. And Max swooped in and saved her, and is the reason that she only has very mild burns and didn't have to do anything more dangerous or anything more severe. And so it's just the like, hey, you remember that time that you did die from using that whip that you shouldn't have used because it saved your ass? Yeah, hi.
Okay. All right. So I like that. So
Yeah.
we'll call. You said Anne, right?
Sure, let's call her Anne.
So Anne owes you for saving, maybe not necessarily her life, but from grievous injury.
Yeah.
Okay, I like
I
that.
think that Max would say that it is their life, but in reality, I agree it is just grievous injury.
Yeah, I think that's a really good character perk. Okay, what do the rest of you want to do in reaction to this particular scene? Is there anything that interests you? Something that maybe you want to declare or trying to create advantage on?
Yes.
Deals.
Oh, yes. Well, you see, I've got quite a moving personality. I know one of the press in the crowd, and I'm gonna try to see if I can get him to incite a riot.
Okay, so why don't you go ahead and click on that? Click on that. I'm going to click on the work buddy stunt just so that it pops up
Bet.
in chat. And then go ahead and click on yours as well. That way people can see it in the chat. And you've helped a lot of people, and they appreciate it. Anytime you spend a fate point to add a story detail, you can create or modify a character you've helped in the past who owes their current success or stability to you. That's associated with your social worker. Okay, so one of the press members basically essentially owes their career or owes their stability to you. Why don't you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, Theodore Gent. He's a great dude. He started out in the warehouse with me. He was, talking about wanting to be a big movie star. But I was like, how about you try for local press first? And I helped him get his first camera, and get started on that.
Okay.
Really love the guy.
All right. So we have an EMT that owes Max for a very close call. We have a press member that owes you for getting where he is. Jack, is there anything
Yes.
that you would like to analyze, manipulate, or otherwise declare about the scene?
How many fate points do I have? I'm really
You
sorry. I don't have D20 up. I
No, you're fine.
apologize.
You're good, man. Don't worry about it.
I just feel bad.
You are not impeding in the slightest. You're having technical issues. You're Gucci. You currently have 5 fate points, so quite a bit.
Yeah. Okay. I will spend a fate point. I don't have the same thing they do, I don't believe. But I would like to spend a fate point saying that I know a person out there in the press, and they are either a conspiracy theory blogger or a major player on like some sort of social media presence. He is a paranormal writer of some sort. Writes for like the weekly news report, the Bat Boy newspaper that you find at your local supermarket.
Okay.
And yeah, he's actually very popular amongst the people. He's a low key magic user, but mostly a journalist. That's how I know him.
So I'm liking the concept of Clarence's friend and your friend being the same person.
Yeah, that's what I was. You know Theodore too.
Yeah,
Holy shit!
I'm gonna go. I want to go merge myself in the crowd and just start saying, "Oh my God, was that a tentacle that just appeared out of the tent?" And then be like, "That was totally a tentacle." That's my plan. I'm gonna make the people believe that there's an alien in that tent or some sort of monster.
All right. I am definitely going to have a grifter check from you for that, because you are blatantly lying in order to try to draw attention. So I'm going to go ahead. You have a fair or a +2 grifter skill, so I'm going to go ahead and roll that. Once I get my OBS back up. Hey, there we go. Rob, I'm just catching up on your chats. God damn it. Hear me out. How about this brand new concept, never before spoken? Zombie Nazi.
Never heard of it before.
Never heard of it. Totally original.
It won't take off.
Nope. Alright, so we'll roll your grifter. So you got an overall +2 on that check. You ended up basically, the fate dice cancel each other out, which is not the worst result.
Let's go for it.
Okay, so +2 with your grifter check. All right, so you do manage to get a couple heads turned, which is surprising considering tentacles. Really, like most normal people would not take that seriously. But you do see a couple people like, what the fuck? Like, pop their heads up a little bit higher, all looking toward the tent. And one person in particular does look that direction, and it happens to be Theodore. His head pops up. I'm imagining like a shorter Asian man, kind of a stronger jawline, with a very high hairline, but like that kind of pokey outward hairstyle that most people that have real straight hair have. They just overgel it and point it forward. Not like a pompadour though, like that'd be too much. But
It's just a spike. It's the little unicorn.
it's a little unicorn spike. Exactly. She knows what I'm talking about. So Theodore kind of looks up and around. He's like, "Wait, tentacles? What?" And that's how
nudge.
Go ahead.
Jack nudges Clarence. Same thing, pal. Real low whisper. Say the same thing.
I got a better idea. Why don't I just promise him a scoop if he starts a riot?
You know what? Go for it.
I'm gonna see how this plays out.
I'm just saying that if I go and tell him that if he gets the crowd all riled up, right, distracts the police, I can get in there and I can get him the information that he wants from this place.
You tell him there's a tentacle. Tell him it moved menacingly.
Okay, look, I may be dumb, but why the hell am I gonna try to tell other people that there's a tentacle when it's clear that there's not a tentacle?
You know there's a tentacle.
There's not a tentacle.
I understand that, but this press that's you frenzying right now, Seaman, that's they don't know there wasn't a tentacle. We could say it just slithered back up into that tent angrily.
That is indeed something that could be said.
Just make it sound believable, Seaman. It's your show.
Yeah, good luck with that. I'm not good at lying. Just saying, it would be a lot easier for me to just get the crowd riled up.
Actually.
Okay.
Yep, no, he is very much not good at any type of lying. Looking at his skills.
All right, Seaman, your show. I just work here.
So I walk up to Theodore and just promise him that if he can get a distraction enough for me to get into the tent, I'll get him a scoop.
Okay, so you approach Theodore, who is on the opposite side of the yellow tape, but he is also like not really being harassed at the moment. Whose sole focus is on this tent at the moment, just trying to like looking all around, super invested in what's going on. He's like, "Hey, Clarence, what's going on? Hold on a second. I'm looking for some." He's got his camera at the ready too. He's like, I'm waiting for some type of evidence. I think I just heard a rumor that there was a tentacle, and that would absolutely make my blog if I could catch it. Hold on, wait a minute. No, that's just a hose. Yes, it's just a hose. Okay, and he like holds up the camera and zooms in. Yes, 100% confirmed a hose. Okay, not a conspiracy, but that hose looks really menacing, for what it's worth. What are you doing here, Clarence?
All right, Theodore. Well, see, I'm trying to help my friend inside the building, and I thought we could help each other out. You see,
there's someone in the building.
We're not sure yet. We don't really know, but I think there might be, and I need to get in there to check. So like, what I need you to do, okay, is could you get me a distraction out here, start getting the crowd riled up. They'll trust you, and then I'll get you the scoop that you need. I can take your camera in there and I'll take pictures for you.
Clarence, do you remember when we took pictures when we got this?
Okay, look, I'll make sure that one of the other people with me takes pictures.
There's more than you trying to get. Okay, all right. Listen, this is highly illegal. I hope you know this, right? If any of us get caught, we're all screwed. If somehow you end up
you'll be fine. You're still on the other side of the yellow tape.
I could lose my press license for something like this. You understand that, right?
I get it.
Why don't you, Senor Brian, roll me something to try to convince your good friend Theodore here that he should help you.
Let's see. Social worker?
Would that really apply here, though? You're not really coaching anybody through.
Well, then organizer. What?
Yeah, I think organizer would be okay for that.
Okay.
+1. And we'll say he has a... Hold on. Roll. What would he defend with that? Or he... Okay. So, he rolled a 3, you rolled a 1. You're not exactly being the most convincing right now. He's kind of looking at it like, this, I don't know, man, this is not really a good idea. At least, for me. Why do you need to get in there? Like, who do you know that's in there?
I can't tell you that until after we got out. I don't want to endanger them.
Yes, a fate point would help with the roll. It'd give you a +2, which would tie it, which you would technically win the exchange, but you would have to give something up. So essentially you fail forward. You get what you want, but at the same
I'm
point...
already offering him stuff.
Right.
I'm offering to get him pictures from inside.
Mm-hmm.
So if I were to tie it...
Mm-hmm. Well, let's figure something out then. Like, you are offering. I get it. But basically when you tie, something goes right and something goes wrong. Like, somehow the scene gets more complicated based off of it. In this particular case, I could see him doing something like insisting on going with you, which would make things a bit more interesting.
I'm fine with it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So go ahead and spend the fate point then.
All right. How about this, Theodore? All right, you get the crowd riled up, and we'll sneak you in with us.
First-hand look at a tentacle. Some random person that they haven't told us about. Yeah, this smells like conspiracy to me. All right. You got yourself a deal.
All right.
Point in contention, though. I don't have any suits. There's no way we're getting in there without something to get us through decontamination.
Okay.
And a badge-holding member of the press, and I'm assuming 3 random people that he motions to you and the other 2, are not going to get through this, in plain clothes. It's pretty obvious we don't belong in there. So, if you can figure out a way to get us all suits, I'll rile up the crowd, we'll sneak in.
Okay.
Alright?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, Vex dropped out.
I know.
Vex, we love you. Thank you, Rob, for mentioning that, by the way. Theodore.
Man, tonight is just riddled with problems.
Hey, they're back.
Hi.
What happened?
Sorry. I don't know. My phone just closed the call and wouldn't let me rejoin until I closed and reopened Discord. So.
Okay. Well.
It imploded.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Theodore,
quick catch
go
up.
ahead. No, please, by all means. You made
Quick
the roll.
catch
Go
up.
for it.
Used fate point. Offered to take Theodore with us. He said that's fine, but we have to find him hazmat suits. We need to get 4 hazmat suits.
Great. Cool.
Maybe your EMT friend can get us some hazmat suits.
Yeah, that is exactly what I was thinking.
Okay. So,
Just using these finger guns and these eyebrows. That's
you can't
that's how convincing
can't
it is.
finger gun your way into a biohazard scene. Just watch me, kiddos.
Okay.
Well, you're
But
wrong,
hear me
sir.
out. People think bisexuality is having sex with men and women, but in reality, it's finger guns and anxiety.
Hey.
Listen, if that's how I can identify myself as, is the finger gunning and sarcasm and anxiety guy, that's what I identify as.
That is your demographic right there.
That is
Yep.
my demographic.
Finger guns
If you
and
think you
anxiety.
can't get around with finger gunning my entire life, that's where you're wrong.
Okay.
That's
so
where you're wrong,
would you, Jack, like to go with Max to try and get this EMT to get you guys some hazmat suits?
Oh, absolutely.
This is gonna be great.
You think great.
Me and Theodore are just gonna catch up.
Yeah, you're gonna try and plan out how the crowd's gonna get riled up. Like, hey, that guy looks like an agitator. Like, he looks like somebody that's gonna fuck some shit up. Let's give him a brick. No, we're not giving him a brick.
Why not? It would
2
be
bricks?
fun.
Well, what about 2 bricks?
Just some rocks? Just a bag of small rocks.
Some Stanley Kubrick.
Kubrick.
Oh,
Ha, 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 ha.
Ah.
You lose a fate point. Kidding. No, I'm kidding. All right, Max, Jack, take it away. You have Anne in your sights. Max, how are you approaching
Yep.
this?
Huh.
They are currently sitting, like, they're hanging out next to their ambulance at this point. Her and her teammate
Yeah.
are kind of just shooting the shit. They haven't had any they still have their gurney in the back. Nobody's in it. But their doors
Yep.
are open. They have their bags ready to go. But it doesn't look like that they've exactly been called to go and get anybody yet. So
Great.
they're just kind of chatting and waiting while prepping.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna call out to Anne from far enough away that it's like I have to kind of raise my voice and raise my hand and hope that she's gonna come over to me, so I don't have to deal with a partner.
Okay.
But just hi, Anne. How's it going?
And her head kind of turns around a little bit in that, like, I heard something motion. Like, wait, what? Max? What? Hey!
Hello.
And Anne kind of like, hey, whisper, says a couple things to her partner, too loud to
Yeah.
hear exactly what's going on. But suddenly Anne
Yeah.
starts walking over to the yellow tape and kind of like, half smiling but half suspicious at the same time. Like, hey, Max, like,
It's like she knows me or something.
this is a really strange place to run into you.
Yeah, I know. God, this is gonna sound real fucking weird. So, you know how I was on the streets for a while, and one of the people that I'm supposed to be watching out for them, and they're stuck inside this building and they're hiding somewhere in it. I know they are. I need them to be able to see a familiar face to help get them out of this, because otherwise they're not going to come out of there. I don't know that anybody's ever going to find them. They've been hiding their whole freaking life. So, like, do you think there is maybe a way to find a biohazard suit so that I could, get in there and get them back out? Maybe.
There is just a flat silence
Yeah.
as she just kind of slack-jawed stares at you for a moment.
Yep.
Okay. What? It's that, I don't know if you guys have ever seen that Firefly gif of Captain Mal just, like, motioning with his hands, like... And he just kind of shuts up and just... Yeah, that's pretty much visually what's going on with her at the moment. Is there's a lot of, like, I have things to say, but they're coming too quickly and I can't formulate the questions fast enough in order to keep up with it. And finally, she's just like, So let me get this straight. You need me, an EMT, a licensed EMT, currently on a biohazard scene, to somehow sneak a hazmat suit out, give it to a civilian, and then escort that civilian in to find another civilian who's not supposed to be there, and then escort them back out. And I'm assuming nobody needs to know, quote unquote, that this is occurring.
I mean, you could just sneak me to the biohazard suit, if that would be easier. And I mean...
What do you want to roll me for this?
I would love to roll... I feel like influencer could fit. But I also, like, I think that Grifter might be better because I'm doing a lot of lying right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Go ahead and roll me influencer. Jack, do you have anything that you'd
Yes.
like to add to this? Maybe give her some sort of an advantage to roll with this.
Absolutely.
Okay, what would you like to do?
I will chime in as well. And I will. How does it work when I want to help her with her role? Like,
Okay.
walk me through this.
So teamwork doesn't work quite the same way as it would like D&D or Pathfinder or anything like that, where you give a flat bonus to the person. Essentially what you have to do is the action called create an advantage. And once you create the advantage, you basically get a free invocation on it that you can give to anybody. And when they roll, they can use it just like a fate point without having to spend their fate point to do it. So you would be able to set up something like, smooth talking, get her a little bit, off kilter, don't let her think too much about it. Or you could play to her empathetic side and make up this huge grandiose lie that this person, like, really hates the police and their family got killed. Or, like, there's a whole, like, any role that you can come up with. Okay. Which one's that?
The second one.
Okay.
So, would it be me doing the action and then she can play off of the action?
Essentially.
Is that what I'm doing?
Yep. So you're kind of to make it a bit more of a metaphor. You're softening the target up so that Max can hit it home and knock it out. I gotcha.
Sounds good. Grifter me then, I guess? Or do I just do this as a free thing?
I would definitely say grifter, because, again, you're outright lying to somebody, trying to get them to believe you.
Okay.
So let's go.
All right, grifter me.
All right, griftering you. Now, a reminder, it is at a +2. Go ahead and roll that.
Do you want me to do my thing first or roll first?
Go ahead. I would love to hear it before I tell you what the result is.
Hi, this is gonna sound really weird. I'm with Max here. That person that Max is talking about inside that building is actually my sister. You see, my sister has been kind of a troubled person. I flew all the way here from Los Angeles. I heard she was hanging out here on the streets, and I've just been really, really distraught about it. Our family doesn't get along with police. It's a long story. It involves the cartel. It's really bad stuff. I just want to get her out there so she can go get the help that she needs so we can continue, furthering trying to take care of her because she deserves it.
Okay. All right. Trying to create an advantage. Let's see. I think she is not equipped to handle this level of lie, so she is going to defend. But she rolls a -1. All right. So you rolled a 3. She rolled a -1. This actually succeeds with style. So because you're creating an advantage, you succeed with style anytime you succeed 3 or greater past what you're trying to do, past whatever difficulty level there is. And in this case, since she tried to defend against it and did so poorly, not only does she believe it, she believes it wholeheartedly. You get an extra invocation that you can put on this aspect. So not only do you have 1 on this scene, specifically on Anne, now you have 2 that anybody can take at this point.
Okay, can we call this aspect my poor sister?
I am totally okay with that. My poor sister. Let me go ahead and bring up our... Alright, go ahead.
Is that aspect something we could invoke to make that 1 magically turn into a 4 hazmat suits?
I think if you spend both of them, you can kind of put the wing nuts to her enough that it would... What would you say...
How do y'all feel about that?
That's up to you guys, yep.
Yeah, because I am not the only person in the scene right now.
Jack?
I'm sorry, can you repeat?
How would you feel about us using both of the aspects created in order to magically turn the 1 hazmat suit into 4?
Listen, I wasn't even expecting this to work, so we should use both of them to get 4 hazmat suits.
Great.
Use them while you got them.
Cool.
Clarence, what do you think?
Works for me.
All right.
Cool.
So here's the catch, though.
I'm across the way with Teddy. I'm like, hey, it's good.
Oh man, just like that long focus in, like you guys are sitting there all around the yellow tape, and all of a sudden, like, hey Clarence, long zoom in on the other side of the fucking parking lot. We're good. Long zoom back in.
Like Office style.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so Anne is visibly moved by your story, and she goes, Max, you've known that Anne has had a soft spot, especially for family. She has 3 younger sisters, and she is very protective of them.
Vex feels bad. Max feels nothing.
So she's, she's kind of like tearing up a little bit. She's like, okay, all right, that's that's definitely. Oh my god,
it's a real complicated situation. We actually,
Brian.
we brought her boyfriend and their other sibling as well. They're over there. I know it's a lot to ask, but it would really mean a lot if we could just, get everybody who means a lot to her all in one place to try to help coax her out and try to make sure that she has the safest environment possible. Could you help us, Anne?
Yes, please help me. I really.
You're my only hope.
She points at. Go ahead, continue.
I just really want to be reunited with my sister and get her out of this life. I was very protective of her.
Before you fuck it up.
Damn. She looks at Jack with sympathy and empathy. She's very touched by his story. And she points at Max. And her face gets a lot more tense. And she's like, you owe me for this. I could lose my job.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like wrestling with it inside. Looks back to Jack and looks to you. Fine. Stay here for a minute. I'll be right back. And,
Thank you, Anne.
She doesn't respond as she walks away.
That's fucking fair.
Yeah. So she kind of disappears out of view. Max, Jack, how are you reacting to this sly victory of yours?
Trying not to dance. Kind of failing. Just doing a little wiggle.
This is everybody's reaction in the chat.
Yeah. Just so everybody knows, Brian put a Snapchat in that has like his nose gone and his face scrunched and listening to Jack pull shit out of his ass. Bob, you okay?
Jack Stan. Oh, I'm doing just fine. The Mac updated, so bear with me.
Oh, no worries, man.
Mm-hmm. You're doing great, by the way.
How's Jack reacting to this, Bob?
Oh, Jack just sits there, silent in victory. In his head, he is, jumping up and down, being like, "Jesus, that actually worked."
They bought it.
My sister in the cartel. I quiet monologue inside the head, saying the next step was saying that the Libyans captured her, and saw it on TV once. It's Back to the Future.
We should communicate this with Clarence and the other person.
That other guy is gonna be a
Theodore.
He's not a hunt.
You just shouted across the parking lot. Hey, she got it!
No.
So
Not that. Not
Max
that.
and Jack. I have.
Yes.
Would you guys like to earn your fate points back? Because I feel like compelling you for a moment here.
Yes.
Because Jack, you've seen this on TV once. And this whole plot and characterization of the sister characters coming into mind, and it sounds like something out of NCIS. It really does, and it's the coolest fucking thing to you. And you can't help but continue to elaborate, even when you probably shouldn't elaborate on what your sister has been doing. Now, for compel, you can either accept the fate point and continue the scene accordingly, or you can spend a fate point in order, because your character has second thoughts and goes, this probably isn't the time to do this.
You know what? As much as I am very much gonna buy into the compel, I'm gonna say no this time.
Okay, so go ahead and drop a fate point then. Now, here's a catch.
You're gonna have to...
At any point in time, if I feel that your character really would do that, like this is completely in line with your aspects, I can offer up a second fate point. And you will either have to accept both of them or spend 2 to get rid of it. I'm not doing that now. It's not a powerful
Yeah, I was
enough
gonna say
compel,
I was gonna say that's I think it's stupid, but I don't think Jack's that stupid.
No. I agree.
Clarence is that stupid.
Max, however, you kind of
Hey guys, can we pause just for one quick second? I'm going to see if this works.
Yeah, sure, by all means. I'm just gonna try and compel Max here. Kind of along the same vein, because you like stirring salt into the pot.
I do.
And this is just too ripe, because Anne bought this, and you're like, how much else can she buy? Like, what can I push this to? Can I turn this up to 11? And can I tell other people that she bought this later? So essentially, it's going to be the same compel. You're going to try to elaborate and see just how far you can push it, even though you're already in a situation where you really shouldn't.
Oh, God. I really want to.
You can do it.
Now the question is,
Damn it, Clarence.
The question is,
can you guys? No.
it's in and out. I'm sorry,
It
dude.
was breaking up.
It
Did
was
all that
worth
for
a
nothing.
shot. Well, I mean, you also updated your computer, so now you are safer.
It's not nothing. Now we've ruled that out as a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Troubleshooting.
Yeah.
Forward.
And you didn't have to do anything but reset your laptop.
Yeah.
And I don't even know.
Yeah, we can troubleshoot on it later. There's more steps that we can go through and to figure out exactly what the root cause is. But for the moment,
Yeah.
if you want to just log in and to Roll20 on your laptop, you can keep playing on your phone. Oh, excuse me. We were going to do
Totally
webcam
fine.
face reveals,
Oh,
but
rip. Rip. It's probably for the best. I look ugly as fuck.
I look like a sausage made life.
I look like I was just gonna run over by 16 trucks and an egg.
And an egg. Yeah, right? Exactly. I look like somebody dropped a fucking breakfast scramble on the asphalt.
Looked like somebody just dropped my face on the asphalt.
Oh, Jesus.
With force. My little brother, whenever he would drop something and he was younger, he'd throw it down, and my mom would be like, "You can't throw things." He's like, "I didn't throw it. I dropped it with force."
It was gravity's fault.
Dropped it with force. Kids aren't allowed to be that smart.
No,
It's too...
they're not. They're not. But the worst part is they are. Like, having an 8-year-old, when I had him, even up to when he was, like, I think 4 or 5, and I still had him, shit was smart. Like, he was real smart, and it was very scary, because, like,
They catch on.
Yeah, they catch on real fast. And it was really funny, considering he, for 3 months, tricked both his mother and his grandmother into thinking that the online purchases on his mobile game were accidental, running up about $75 in charges, and managed to convince them both that no, it was an accident. I just ran into it. And then I actually showed both of them how it worked, and ooh, they were not happy with that. Let me tell you, because I'm like, oh yeah, you got to go through at least 3 pop-ups per purchase in order to actually get the thing. And he's like, no, it was an accident. Like, he stuck to, for what it's worth, he stuck to his guns. Like, he stuck until the end. Yeah, I didn't know, Dad. Yeah, you didn't know. Well, shit.
It's like a plea deal. Admit to smaller things so you don't get stuck with the bigger charges.
Exactly. If they get something, they will stop chasing you.
I was really good at that. I was really good at admitting to smaller mess ups so I didn't get in trouble for the bigger ones.
Yep. That was actually my running high school career. I was honest until I didn't need to be, or until it really would fuck me over if that was the case. Once the consequences were serious enough, I would lie my ass off, and nobody would expect it because I was honest in every other situation. And they're like, oh, he's an honest guy. He's telling us the truth. And I'd be like, you have no idea.
When I was younger, my parents would, say I had a tell when I lied. But they wouldn't tell me what it was. So then whenever I started, whenever I would lie about something small, I would do something very obvious. And so then they knew when I was lying whenever I was doing that. And so when I really wanted to cover up a lie, I would just tell it, blank face without any reaction, and they were never the wiser.
Wow, you'd be a good poker player.
Mm-hmm.
Fake tells, holy shit. That's some next level kid bullshit right there.
I was like 8.
Bobo, did you get back to us?
I'm here.
Fantastic. All right.
Yay!
So, Max, how would you react to this? How would this compel affect you? Are you going to buy it off in order to preserve the scene and possibly have you guys come, out of this unscathed, or will you succumb to your inner petty and try and continue to pull one over on? You're going to be petty?
I'm gonna be a petty bitch.
All right.
Mostly because with making Vex cringe so much, I want to practice.
All right. So, by all means, go ahead and take that fate point. Now, the plan was to have both you and Jack play off of each other.
Yeah.
As the lying just gets
But
worse and
now-
worse and worse. And eventually they'd be
Jack
coming out like,
knows
she's a
about it.
Palestinian refugee? I'm so sorry. The FBI came and took her right out from underneath our noses? What's
She
going
was
on?
actually an actor in Hotel Rwanda?
Oh, no. Yep. She had at least 3 novels made of her. It was those based off of a real event style movies. But
She has 3 buttocks?
oh god,
She has a third nostril.
she has a third
It's
nostril.
real.
All right. Let's see here.
Just allergic to emus.
So Anne comes back. She's not holding anything. And she looks to both of you and goes, "All right. I managed to get 3. But that's the only extras they had. They're decontamination suits that were specifically meant in case something tore. So if something happens to anybody inside, they're going to be without an extra suit. Don't get caught. Don't let anything happen. Not only will you guys go to jail, I'll lose my license to practice, and I'll go to jail. And anybody else that's in there will be heavily questioned. Do you understand? You get in, you look for them, you get out. Don't touch anything. Don't talk to anybody. Do you get it?"
Yeah, actually, his sister's mute, so the no talking thing will actually be pretty easy. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Jack just looks at her wide-eyed. What?
Did you not remember?
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
that's why we had to learn
he
sign
just- he
language.
just- Yeah, he just says, yeah, that's right. My poor mute
Just easier to
sister.
communicate.
Yeah, she must be absolutely frightened. She's got, again, that really caring, empathetic look on her face as she looks to Jack, but, like, it's not quite daggers to Max, but, like, she is not happy with how this has played out. She's like, okay, like I said, I got 3 suits. Who all, I
Vex
need
has
to
a terrible
stick you.
plan.
Oh, no.
Vex has a really terrible plan. So, like, we could have all of us who are playing characters go into this building. Or we could have Clarence and Jack go into the building with the ride-along who's gonna be vlogging or whatever.
Theodore. Yep.
Yep, and Max sits out here and spins tails. Unaccompanied.
Well, if anybody would be suited enough to stir up a crowd, that would probably be Max. Let's be honest. Okay. So, what's the party think? You guys got 3 suits. Who's all going?
It's a
I
plan.
think y'all should go in without me. I'm not very good at talking, and I might also not be exactly small enough to fit in them suits.
Oh no! If I need to lift a heavy rock, you're my heavy lifting rocker.
Look. How many rocks do you think are going to be in that building?
You know what? Maybe I should probably go.
Look. If you have a problem, I'm sure that Max can help you. I'm pretty sure that they're a lot
Max can
stronger
help me,
than
no
you.
problem.
Well, then there you go. Why?
I'm trying to be nice. Are you good? Are you going to be able to rile up a crowd?
Well, that's what Theodore's doing. That's what I'm telling Theodore to do. And
know
nothing
that
riles up
Theodore's
a
coming.
crowd. I can start throwing people.
And Theodore did say that he wanted to get in and see it.
Mm-hmm. Well, Theodore's gonna help us rile the crowd, and then he's gonna sneak in with you guys.
Clarence. Vex is trying to use guest on my stream to our advantage in the situation. And
Guess.
so Bax is gonna.
Oh, that's the now
Yeah.
presenting someone else can use your influencer?
No,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. But just as a note for Clarence, because he doesn't know this stunt,
Yeah.
if you use her influencer, or their influencer, sorry, you have to share the consequences between the two of you if it does not go well.
So
Out of
Max is gonna.
character. I don't
Yeah.
think you really need to influence. I've already talked to Theodore, and he's gonna rile up the crowd.
He's
And
still
literally all I have
just
to
a
do-
person.
Yeah, all I have to do is throw one person. It'll be fine.
Throw one person. Oh man.
You're gonna throw it. God.
One person.
Oh man. This is like
So we're
that
thinking-
episode of the Boondocks when it's like, no, you don't even need the chair to hit anybody. You just gotta
No.
throw it, and people will start
Yeah.
fighting.
People will start fighting. Break a glass bottle in a bar. There's gonna be a fight.
Okay. Let's actually, Clarence,
Mm-hmm.
you have a particular skill here, a particular aspect of your character where no farmer left behind. Ohana means family. And you have been moved by Max's speech. Jack's story. To the point where you almost believe it yourself. And you really, really want to help this person.
You forgot that it was ruse. Wait.
We gotta go
It's
save
so
your
funny.
sister.
It's so funny.
Okay.
Okay,
We gotta go save your sister.
so take a
Gotta
fake
go
point.
save your sister, Jack. Yeah. I'll deal with them.
Your sister is on the run from the cartel.
Just gonna start throwing people. I'll deal with them. I'll get it.
Oh man, for family, for Ohana, yeet! Just tossing people.
I'm crying.
Oh man. Okay, so no farmer left behind. Clarence's, if you accept it, you're gonna go with the group into the tent because having Max alone with Theodore with somebody that they don't necessarily know, but also stirring up shit without supervision, might not be the best play. But you also really want to help find this person. Like, if it's his sister, if it's not, there's somebody in there and they are scared. At least according to Jack.
Okay, I'm good. I'm sorry. Your poor mute sister on the run from the cartel.
She's probably so scared
I
right
don't know what
now.
a cartel is, but it sounds bad. What's a cartel? It sounds bad.
Okay.
Oh
All
man.
right. Even though this is gonna end terribly because anybody talks to
no.
Clarence, I'm gonna blow my fucking cover immediately. And Vex is just gonna be out here chatting people up as Max the fucking shit stirrer.
Mm-hmm.
There is no way for this to end well.
Which is exactly the point.
Don't worry.
fucking
Don't
do
worry.
it.
I'll
All right.
handle the
Take my
I'll
fucking
handle the
fate.
talking.
Okay. So, take your fate point, Brian.
Already did.
And so, Anne is standing there waiting. Who is, so it's Clarence, Jack, and Theodore that are all going in, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Anne looks at everybody, including Max. Max, she's like, I am actually surprised. I feel like you would force your way in here, but, I mean, I guess it's better.
Yeah, I just, she sometimes just forgets faces, and I just afraid that she would just forget my face. But her brother definitely 100% gonna know his face, gonna be able to sign. Thank you.
And kind of looks at
Help
you a little bit like with that quirked eyebrow of like, I'm not sure you're lying, but I have a suspicion, but I can't like validate it and prove it. So she just kind of lets it slide. It's like, all right, you three, wait for my signal. This the suits are right over here, and she kind of points to a small like, not dressing area, but there's a small offset tent. She's like, looks at her watch real quick and says, okay, first shift just went in there. They are kind of scattered. They're looking for things. God, this is a terrible idea. That one has a camera, right? And she points at Theodore. And Theodore looks back. Yeah, no, I absolutely got a camera. I got to document all of this. And she's like, oh, no. Okay.
They're making a, based on real life TV documentary about her life. It's about the whole family's life, but it's like contractual obligation. You have to like follow them everywhere.
I was actually going to say that they should act like they're part of the forensics team, just so they don't cast suspicion. But I'll make sure to keep that in mind. Oh man, I regret this already. All right, they're clear. Go. I'll try and cover for you the best I can. Do not take a long time to find this person.
My cheeks hurt.
I'm so happy we could do this.
Jack looks at her. Thank you. This is means a lot to me. I'll make sure to perform at your guys' Christmas party. Jack reaches into his pocket and pulls out a business card and hands it to her. Just give me a holler sometime if you need help. I'll repay.
Yes, because you want somebody. You know what? Take a fate point for that, because you absolutely 100% want somebody following up on a lie with you to figure out what the fuck just happened. All right, cool. I like it. That's not a complication on the scene at all. You are totally fine. I am not at all going to use this later on as I make a note in my notes.
Hey.
Oh, can I take that back? I'm sorry.
Nope.
We're all a little slap happy tonight.
You cannot. Only because... Now, I'm not trying to remove your agency as a player. I do want to explain this real quick. I think it is exactly what Jack would do in this situation. Like, he would 100% be like, listen, I want to make it up to you. Here's this. Call me if you need anything. And not quite make the connection that you guys just told a massive fucking lie. And now she has a way to track the person if something goes wrong. Because I don't feel like Jack would, I don't want to say think that far ahead, but he wouldn't think in terms of those types of consequences right off the cuff. It will hit later, and he'll...
Max is just over there like...
I feel like it'll hit later, like you're in the building or you're at home after this mission is done, and you'll stop like in the middle of the hallway and go, fuck. We're now linked to the scene, but at the moment I don't think
what is this Wii business?
So that's why I'm rewarding you a fate point for it. Now, if you would like to actually take it back, I'm totally cool with that. But let's consider it a compel. Either you take the fate point and this continues, or you pay a fate point and this doesn't occur.
Can we just have a wash this time? I'm going to get back into the scene. Sorry, everybody's making me laugh, and I was playing along.
No,
I
you're
won't
fine.
do that again, I promise.
No, dude, it's not. I'm not punishing you. Please don't. It was a
No,
hilarious
I know
addition.
you're not. It's okay. Let's just move on.
Okay, so you are going to accept the business card.
I'm going to keep it to myself.
Okay.
I didn't offer it. I apologize. Yeah.
No, you're fine. So the business card has not been exchanged.
No.
And leads you guys in. For what it's worth, I think it's a hilarious and awesome idea.
Yeah. I think it's great.
So as you guys move forward, she shuffles you kind of over to this tent, and there are scrubs. So you have to undress, get the scrubs on, and then get the hazmat suit on. That being said, does anybody have experience with hazmat suits?
No. I've seen E.T.
Clarence?
We had a plastic onesie we kind of used sometimes when you were having to herd cows. That's about it.
And Theodore's clueless. He has no idea how to put this thing on. So, Why don't you guys make me a roll? We'll say something along the lines of like professional or maker.
Survivor.
Survivor would be a good one.
I have professional. I'll do that.
Okay, go ahead. All right. So, Bob, Jack has seen a couple TV shows that have had actual hazmat suit sequences. So you pick it up pretty quick, and you're like, okay, well, this goes here, this goes here. It may not be 100% correct or functional, but it's enough to pass. Clarence, you start putting it together, and as you're working it, you're getting the hang of it. Jack quickly steps in to help. Just to make sure that everything looks okay. Theodore's almost a lost cause. Like, it's almost like he's never put on a pajama onesie ever in his life, because that's essentially what it is. Because you have to zip it from the back, you have to get assistance from other people to get into it so that you're clean, whatever. And he's not getting it. He's like grabbing the outside of it. He's pulling up like pants and trying to wiggle his way into the arms. And both of you are just sitting here like, have you actually seen anybody do this before? No, he hasn't. You do manage to get him into everything though, and the three of you suit up in those big, less fun T-Rex inflatable suits, and you start your way in. Max, they're making their way to the tent. It is at this point that you're going to have to provide some sort of distraction for the two police officers that are standing outside of the tent.
Yeah, that's true. I would love it if I want to use Bullseye to put a target on their head. And I would love to do this by trying to find the press people that, like, when we first got in here, I had gone up to a particular clump of press and find, like, a couple of those, preferably with cameras, and convince them that these two cops are dirty, actually. They're the ones who are hiding all the drugs on the premises. We really need to be interrogating them.
Oh, boy. Alright, so I'm going to double check this real quick just to see what you have to do to use target on their head.
Yes.
While we're walking in, Clarence like pats Jack on the back and goes, "I didn't know you had a sister."
Oh,
Jack quietly mumbles back, "I didn't either."
I've been there.
That sounds about right. About white, actually.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So,
Go ahead.
rereading over this, it looks like that is more typically used for, like, the actual monster or whatever that we're supposed to...
True. That does only say enemies. And there are plenty of ways to incite public opinion against somebody. Because essentially what this means is that you're painting whatever's going on in your favor so that other people step in to take action. So, like, if you steal a purse and somebody calls you on it, right, and starts trying to pull it back, suddenly you start screaming, "Help, help, he's trying to take my purse!" And all of a sudden they all whip on that guy. Even though, or that woman saying, that's actually their thing. This is essentially what you're doing. So the enemy in this case is more of a social enemy. This is you trying to get into a place you're not supposed to be. So you're painting the police as the enemy in order to have people kind of swarm them, distract them, and take them away. Because there's three types of conflict in this game. There's mental conflict, which you can basically, like, inflict mental statuses. So if somebody has, like, mind control or some sort of emotional capability or emotional powers, they can essentially mentally attack you in order to change your outlook. Kind of like a severe bout of depression just out of nowhere. That would technically be a mild consequence, is that you are now slightly depressed. Which all millennials are anyway, so that's like a superpower of ours. But then there's social conflicts, which are manipulation, moving around, social structure, trying to make somebody look bad enough so that you can take advantage of the situation. Bad Girls is a good fucking example of social conflict. is they're constantly nitpicking, spreading rumors back and forth, using social media to undermine other people, and also the defense against such things is considered social conflict as well. And then you have physical conflict, which is the actual "I'm going to put a sledgehammer to your kneecap" style conflict that everybody's used to. So in this particular case, in this particular case, we're considering this a social conflict. The enemy is the police. You are trying to make sure that they get hit enough that your teammates can move in without much issue.
Yeah.
So I think this would definitely count. Let's see. As long as you're dealing with a known enemy and there are bystanders or witnesses, you haven't totally fucked yourself. There's always considered to have a situational aspect that gets one free invoke and one free dilemma. If the enemy isn't quite known yet, you may have to create an advantage to draw public ire, but in those cases, you always take an extra free invoke when you create it. So in this particular case, you're just considered to have an aspect that you can use as a free invoke to get shit started.
Sweet.
So considering all of the protests and riots and shit like that currently, that's pretty good impetus. So I would honestly call the aspect ACAB and allow you to kind of take it from there.
Yes, please.
All
It was the worst time
cauliflower
to
and
think of
masses
drinking water, but
broccoli.
yeah.
All cauliflower masses broccoli.
Whoa.
Okay, Max. The stage is
Yep.
yours with which to paint the social demise.
Great. Yeah, so I'm gonna wander over to the same couple of reporters that I got in previously and just be like, hey, did you see those cops over there? Isn't that the guy who shot Tyler Bland? Isn't that him? Right there? See if they recognize his face or not.
Okay, make me a roll, and let's go with influencer, and then you can use that free aspect if you would like.
Stunningly average.
Yeah, that is actually. So you can also re-roll with that invoke as well, because you got 3 negatives and a 0.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
So instead of a
I would
+2,
love-
yep, go ahead.
Yeah.
Wow.
Great.
So,
What
you
are
can
the odds?
Right. So you can spend fate points in order to continue to re-roll, if you would like to do so.
That's literally the exact same roll
Yeah,
twice.
100%.
Yeah.
That was just bad
That-
luck. Oh no.
And the phone exploded.
Okay.
Now, you could... Vex, are you still with us? They are not. Wonderful.
I'll take that as a no, Bob.
I'm pretty sure Bob's still with us.
I'm here.
Bam.
Hello?
There they are.
Hello?
Hey. Is there anybody there?
Yeah, we're all here.
Yes. Is there anybody?
So, if it was me, personally,
Yeah.
you could always do hear ye, yo mom's a hoe, as a way of spending your fate point as with the aspect. Now, you can tag any aspect. You can tag situational aspects. You can tag the aspect over the main plot line, which is the real is consumed for the fantasy. It's which kind of the overarching theme of Las Vegas. You can invoke even aspects that have been created before, even if all the invocations are gone, the free invocations. So ACAB is still technically on the scene as a description, so you could tag that if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But in order to continue doing it, you do have to spend a fate point, because you don't have any free invocations left. I don't think you have any powers that would apply here beside Bullseye, which you've already used.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I strong agree, though. Hear ye, your mom's a hoe does fit here very well.
I love that aspect, by the way. It's fantastic.
That's wonderful.
Okay,
It's pretty
so
solid.
describe to me how this kind of slips a little bit, and then how you're going to turn it around with this aspect of their personality.
I think that probably one of the people in the crowd that in the group that I picked does actually know what the cop's face looks like, who because I called out a specific murder and not
Yeah.
just like generalized police are bastards. And so I think that probably one of them is just, no, it's not. That's a completely different person. And Max is just gonna override them completely with the conviction of I've been bullshitting my entire fucking life. Yeah, no, it totally is. And that other one, that's the one who was hiding the heroin behind the dumpster earlier. Don't you remember? Yeah.
Okay. So so Max, go ahead and re-roll for me, because that's fucking great. No, that actually is. Fuck you. There you go. 5. Yep.
I'm right.
Yep. So you're overcoming this, and holy shit. Okay.
Not
So
a fucking one this time.
this one person doesn't believe you because they actually know and they're an informed reporter.
Yeah.
Literally everybody else, though, doesn't give a shit. There is instantly 6 heads that snap around at your first instance, and on the second time you override them, at least 20 turn their heads. And you start hearing murmuring around the crowds of like, yeah, I think that is him. Yeah, he was Hispanic, wasn't he? Oh my god, this is, and then you like start hearing people getting, upset, visibly upset. And the reporters rush over to them and, blast through any type of security that's going up. And, the cops are, hand on the belt,
Yep.
hands up, like, no, you can't storm in here. Only to realize they're not coming for the tent, they're coming for them. And that's like a cop's worst nightmare, because you can't shoot the press unless you're in a riot. So they're, suddenly cameras and microphones in their face. And what do you have to say about the murder? Why aren't you suspended yet? Do you have any comment for this kind? And they're sitting here going like, I'm sorry, what? Like they're trying to do, the no comment thing and pushing people aside, but there's just too many people. And now you hear
And Max is gonna like bip around in the crowd, just shouting out that, don't you pull out your gun in your own home with your child next to the pool? I totally saw a video about that.
And thus, the seeding of destruction has come full circle, and the crowd is starting to get whipped up into a small frenzy. And you hear people shouting from the yellow tape, to the point where, like, if nothing is done, they're probably going to break the tape and rush in. And the police chief, or the detective that's in charge of this currently, actually has to, like, push his way through the press, and like is talking to both of them and basically has them both leave in order to change them out with another set of guards. And you can see them getting a tongue lashing. Like you can see words moving, and you can see their face downcast and dejected from being basically like, what the fuck did you do, kind of thing from their boss.
Nothing.
Yeah, and they're trying to defend themselves. Like you see this a lot, and like but it doesn't matter. They're being walked out. And the press are following them. So now you have a completely open tent. You have pretty much all of the crowd watching that way as the police are escorted off the premise in a stunning change of roles. And Jack, Clarence, you and Theodore now have an opening.
Let's go, buds.
We enter.
Okay. And we're going to take a commercial break.
Excellent.
I just imagine the reporters being
reinstalled-
like the seagulls from Finding Nemo.
Mine?
Mine.
Murder?
I reinstalled Discord.
Okay.
Well, let's see if that helps.
All right.
That was fun.
That was a lot of fun. Even from a DM standpoint, that was a ton of fun as you guys were like, oh, okay, this is what they're doing. All right. I'm down with
I'm
this.
assuming I'm still choppy.
No, actually. Keep going.
Really? Hi, my
Say
name's
more
Bob.
words.
Do the scales.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do.
So it's not as frequent or as intense as it was before. Now it's like every 3 words, and there's just a skip. There's not like a massive pause that blanks out words.
What do you think's going on then?
I I think it's your internet connection
I
with your Wi-Fi.
I think it's the Wi-Fi card itself, maybe. I don't
That's
know.
what was happening with mine. Remember, Sarge, when that was happening to me?
Oh God, yeah, it was. Fuck, and that was before you
It
actually
was
got a new connection too.
yeah.
Okay.
And as soon as I went with Ethernet, I haven't had any issues whatsoever.
Yeah. That might be the case. Like I said, I wouldn't worry about it for the rest of the night. We can get together on Wednesday and do some troubleshooting and figure out what's going on with it.
All right, sorry about this, guys.
No, dude,
No, it's not your fault. It's
yeah.
all good.
I
Shit
just
happens.
feel really bad. It's like it was all the. Now here we go again.
Yeah. It's just internet. That's it. I can guarantee it. This has happened to me forever.
5 ever. Yep.
5 ever, 6 ever.
Vex, what is that? Off to over your left shoulder. What is that painting that's over there? Yeah.
This one?
Yeah.
That. Welcome to my octopus lady. She has giant ears.
I know that artist. I've seen them at the conventions before. They're fucking awesome.
Uh-huh.
Of course you would have an octopus lady in your den area. That's fantastic.
Me?
My favorite
What are you
Eldritch
talking about? I
abomination?
don't have
Come
another
on.
mermaid over here and another mermaid over there. Just
I love those different types of mermaids though.
Merfolk.
yeah. The fucking just creepy and
I would love to see
love-
somebody make a mermaid out of an anglerfish. That'd be really interesting.
That'd be really cool. Okay. So Clarence is going to be bringing up that Jack has a sister for like the next 6 weeks.
Oh my god.
Good.
Hey, how's your
By
sister
the way,
doing?
the Ohana means family thing. I was crying. The Roland people.
God.
Fuck, Clarence, have you taken a selfie for this session
No.
yet? Or not this session, but this hunt?
I don't think so, no.
Okay, that might be a good one for
Ohana
anybody.
means
Ohana.
family.
Real
No
quick,
one-
guys, while we're on the commercial break, I'm going to start Googling you said it's called the Wi-Fi card driver?
Yeah, yeah, but that's
Not the driver in itself. It's probably just the Wi-Fi, your like wireless card.
I mean, if the Wi-Fi
Oh.
driver's out of date, though, then
That would be
might-
the easiest to fix first, but
yeah.
Apple, I think, updates their Wi-Fi, their wireless drivers whenever they update
yeah, I
your
think so,
iOS.
too. Let me double check real quick. So you have
2012 MacBook Pro running.
2012 MacBook Pro Wi-Fi card driver.
And it's running the Catalina wine mixer. OS.
Excuse me? It's Catalina OS, and it's version 10.15.6.
Yep.
Wi-Fi device drivers for Apple MacBook Pro, 15-inch mid 2012, Windows 10 by 86-bit. Interesting. This does not look legit. No.
It's going to be hard to find a legit one because all of the legit ones are going to be on Apple's website, and they are
Yeah.
generally bundled with their OS.
Yeah. So you ran the update, so most likely the driver would have been updated with that too.
It would have been. Finding, let's see, it's a.
It's been a while since I've troubleshot a Mac.
Yeah. There.
Oh, you know what? Since the Apple menu kept popping up with updates when you clicked on it, can you get to Apple menu and then preferences now?
Yeah. So your system preferences.
Ooh, excuse me.
And then sound,
Okay.
and then input.
Okay, hold on. There we go.
Okay, and you're on your phone, right?
I am dicking on my phone, but I have the thing here. So I'm looking at the thing. It's the internal built-in microphone.
Mhm.
And put built-in microphone volume is at mid.
Turn that up. All the way to 100%.
100%.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Do I have to click save or something, or do I just close out?
Can you bring it up on your camera real quick?
Yep,
So we
hold
can
on.
see
You guys are saints, by the way. I
it.
get really anxious about technical issues. Like I apologize. It's just
No, you're
trigger of
fine.
mine.
This is literally
I
what
always
I've
feel
done
like
for
I'm.
like 15 years. So.
Yeah,
I know.
I'm pretty solid at MacBook troubleshooting.
And so let's turn it around.
We only
That's
had
still me.
MacBooks at our high school, so anytime something broke.
There we go.
Okay.
All right, input
So
level.
as I'm talking, it's the levels are going.
Yeah.
I can see it. So input volume, input level, output volume. Put that up too.
Okay. There we go.
Nothing is muted. Is there like an extra option area, like a question mark or something? Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead.
How comfortable are you, like, working on computers?
Oh man, I'm kind of an idiot.
Okay.
Oh, that's just help. Never mind. You can go ahead and close out of that. It doesn't.
Because
Matter.
the Wi-Fi card in a 2012 isn't super hard to replace. But there's a possibility you could just take it into a Mac store and they could do it for you as well.
Yeah, it's just weird because, like I said, I ran Zoom the other day. I had 0 issues.
Zoom might also be more optimized. Discord tends to be a little bit unoptimized for video.
Okay.
Okay, so there's
there
that.
we
Go
go.
ahead and save, or if there's no save, just go ahead and exit out.
Let me try to log back in here then.
Yeah. See if that works.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do.
Bam! It's the fucking levels.
It's the levels.
Yep. So your microphone has a certain amount of, essentially, pickup. At a certain decibel level, it will stop picking up because it gets too quiet. And you basically just increase the gain of it so that it will, the threshold for cutting off the mic is a lot lower. So it'll pick up on more things.
So what you're saying is that it's fixed just fine. You guys hear me just fine right now, right?
Yeah, I'm not having any problems.
Are you guys ready to hear my voice and maybe see my floating face in the darkness again?
Okay, let's try it.
Yeah.
Just
all right.
So we've confirmed that the audio works, and when you turn on
We
the video,
confirmed it. All right, let's
see what it goes
Bring
from there.
back the floating head.
The floating head. All hail.
Never doubt the worm.
Mecca lecca hi, Mecca Heidi ho.
Oh my god, that's mildly terrifying. Just
can
fucking
see
a
one
face
glint
barely
of
comes
light.
out of the darkness. Mecha like lie. No, please.
Have you guys ever seen Pee Wee Herman?
Yes, unfortunately.
Zombie the Genie was just the head, man.
Yeah. Yeah, but you're coming in fucking perfectly clear, so it was just your microphone not adjusted to basically cut off at a lower decibel level.
You know what, you guys? I feel really dumb.
No, don't. That's not
There's no
something
need.
that... Yeah, there's something not many people think to look at or
I'll
know
tell
to
you.
look for.
There's rarely a person who, after they fix something, doesn't feel slightly dumb.
Yeah.
So,
After 15 years, there's still things that I look at and go, fuck
You
me, that was
overthought
it?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I always overthink things nowadays.
Yeah, Rob in stream actually brings up a good point and said it's a learning curve. You just learn something.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse my messy office, guys.
Ah, you're fine. Hardly. I love all the
Oh,
Ghostbusters.
God, I look
matches.
like crap.
Who are you gonna call? Ghost.
Oh, someone else.
A hairdresser.
15. How many different Ghostbusters stickers do you have?
What's that?
How many different Ghostbuster stickers do you have?
These are patches, real
Patches.
quick. When I'm not Bob After Dark, and when I'm not hunting monsters on iHunt, I'm a costumer for the Windy City Ghostbusters. I cosplay as a Ghostbuster, and I travel all over, everywhere, really, doing charity work, raising money for the Children's Hospital in Chicago, La Rabida. And there's actually more of us than you think. Every major, like, even smaller metropolitan areas, every place has Ghostbuster franchises. And that was like a big part of my life for the past 5 years. So these are all patches from Ghostbusters all over the world. I have them Japan, China, Korea, and I have my patches that I send out, and then they send me theirs back. It's like
Wow.
a club thing.
That's
Yeah.
awesome, dude.
Yeah,
Like, I
so
knew you did
I've-
it. I just didn't know it was that wide range. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've been doing it for a few years now, and I've traveled literally from coast to coast, being a Ghostbuster in my life. I even have trading cards.
Okay.
Yeah,
I would-
would you like to see a trading card?
Hell yeah. I would love a
So-
trading card of myself. That's pretty fucking cool.
This is
Oh.
my Windy City Ghostbusters trading card, and then there's my picture that I autograph for kids when
That's
they,
so cool.
yeah.
That's like
That's,
it's almost like the 501st, right? But instead of doing Star Wars stuff.
We base a lot of what we do on the 501st because they're a way bigger outfit than us.
Mhm.
So we hang out. A lot of the 501st people are Ghostbusters, and vice versa.
Okay.
You see us at cons. We hang out at the same booth areas and stuff. Yeah, true story. So that's a little dive into the world of Bob.
I also see part of the problem too, because when you angle away,
Mm-hmm.
your voice starts going that way instead, and that's when it starts cutting out too.
So
I gotcha.
Gotcha.
you're
All right.
using the microphone on your
the laptop.
laptop, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do.
They have very directional microphones on the MacBooks. They improved it later on, but this one is basically just a pinprick in the top corner, and that's the microphone.
Excellent.
So if you direct the vibrations everywhere else, it's not going to hit it. You basically have to speak into the corner.
So
Good. I apologize, guys.
No,
and
you're fine,
I'm
man.
the whole story.
like I said, this is totally expected. It's a stream. It happens.
True
That
that.
being said, Rob actually asked, "Did you get a picture of some of the people from the OG Ghostbusters crew?"
Yes,
yet?"
I've met and hung out with everybody other than Harold Ramis, who passed several years ago. But I've met and hung out with Bill Murray, Ernie Hudson, Dan Aykroyd, William Atherton played the EPA guy.
Yeah.
So I've hung out with him. I'm good friends with Harold Ramis's daughter, Violet. She just wrote a book recently called Being a Ghostbuster's Daughter. Really good read.
Okay.
I've met and hung out with a lot of them.
Uh-oh.
And actually, sends cards. Cool.
Okay. Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, so just a
Bill
little quick
Murray.
dive into-
Bill fucking Murray. I'm so
Yeah,
jealous. of you.
real quick story if you guys want to hear it, because I only
Yeah.
met him and hung out with him once. Bill Murray was doing a super artsy show where he was traveling around with a violin player, and they traveled on tour, and Bill Murray would actually read poetry and take musical breaks with his violin, and it was really weird. He came out there and he started out the show being like, "If you guys are expecting to laugh, you can leave. I already have your money." And people started laughing, and he's got deadpan serious. He's like, "I'm not fucking lying to you. If you think I'm gonna make you laugh, you can just..."
Yeah. Jeez.
So after the show, I knew the person at the Chicago theater that told me where he was going to be exiting from, and me and a couple of the Ghostbusters that went to the show, we hung out afterwards, and he came out and saw our T-shirts, and he's like, "Oh, Ghostbuster fans." We're like, "Yeah, but we're not gonna, we won't do that to you." And he came by and shook all of our hands. He's like, "No photos, because no one will believe you anyway."
I fucking love that line.
And he's like, I don't know how many of you guys are Cubs fans, but this was the year the Cubs were doing the World Series thing, right?
Uh-huh.
And he's like, Cubs are doing good. And he's like, "Fuck you." And he just got in his car and left with his brother.
That's so Bill Murray.
That's literally my Bill Murray story in a nutshell.
That's
he just,
fantastic.
he's like,
Did you
"I
get
don't
to meet
want..."
Rick Moranis?
No. Fun fact: I met Rick Moranis briefly. I went to New York City, and he lives in the the condo building next to where Dana Barrett lives in Ghostbuster. And I was doing a walking tour in New York City of all the locations. Rick Moranis came out of his apartment, saw us, and kind of waved. because we were in full gear, and he's like, "I'd love to talk, but I really gotta go." So that's
Aw.
my experience.
He had
fun-
to drop out after his wife passed to.
He's doing
Like-
things now, though. He's
He's coming back, yeah, but
Yeah.
he was
He
raising
did
his kids.
Yep.
he did a con a couple years ago in Texas. It was
Mhm.
his first convention ever, and he was charging $900 for a photo and an autograph.
Mhm.
Oh.
And they
Well,
sold
when
out.
you had to drop out of the the movie game after like Ghostbusters and Honey I Shrunk the Kids, you're gonna need some money after 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's kind of a recluse. He keeps to himself, but the couple of times I've ever heard of farther interactions, but he spotted us and he's like, "Hey guys, I'd love to talk, but I really gotta go. Just keep up doing what you guys are doing. I pay attention." And then that same moment, I don't know, you guys ever see Ghostbusters? And I promise we should get back to the game. But have you guys
Yeah.
ever seen the movie? All of you? You've seen
Right.
all three of you seen Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the guy that threw the Ghostbusters out of the university, Dean Yeager,
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the first movie, he lives in Dana Barrett's apartment building from Ghostbusters. So we're out front, and this guy comes out, and he's like, and this old man comes out of the building, and I hear his voice, and he says, I thought I told you to leave." And I'm like, "Motherfucker, I'm in New York City. I'm about to tap into my inner New Yorkian and just tell this guy where to go." I turn around and I'm like, "The fuck you say?" And he's like, "I told you to get off these premises." And I'm looking at him, he kind of gets a smile. I'm like, "Oh my God, Dean Yeager." And I'm like, "I am so sorry." And he's like, no. He's like, "I've aged." He's like, "I'm not what I used to be." And I'm like, "This is kind of cool." So I'm like, "You live here?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's just, kind of ironic." And he took pictures with all of us. He was really sweet.
That's cool.
Yep, so that's my life when I'm not hunting ghosts, is I'm hunting ghosts. My life is kind of boring when in hindsight. 'cause
I
I'm
mean,
dealing-
dude, I wouldn't call that boring in the slightest. Like,
Yeah, best I got is almost meeting Willie Nelson.
Almost. Vex,
Almost.
do you have a celebrity story?
I mean, we were cons for a while, so.
We have worked cons for a while. I mean, I mostly hide out in con ops, so I don't meet a whole
Yeah.
lot of people. But
Yeah.
back when I was working Gen Con, I used to, I worked with Mayfair Games at Gen Con and Origins, like teaching people how to play games. And Eric Mulligan was there playing Catan, and we all gotta go over and take a photo with him. He was very nice. He's
Yes,
an
that
actor
was.
who's just on phones.
I remember actually seeing him at the booth that year at Gen Con when he was there. That was the
Yeah.
same year. Nathan Fillion was there with
No.
Hell yeah.
what the hell? Not Joss Whedon. Help me out here. Will Wheaton.
Okay.
So-
yeah.
My other good story is I was at Gen Con one year, and at this time I was a board game journalist, so I not fairly known. People knew who I was, but I wasn't nothing special. And Will Wheaton approaches me and says, "Hey, we're doing a celebrity game of Monopoly. Will you come up to our room and cover it?" And I'm like, "I have no idea who you are, Will Wheaton." Like I didn't know who he was, and I'm like, "Celebrity?" And then the person that was with me is like, "Bob." I'm like, "I don't know who he is." And then Nathan Fillion came by, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, and I know who you are." And
Oh,
Will Wheaton's
man.
like, "People don't ever give me that reaction." He's like, "Come on up and hang out." So
I love
so
it.
it was Will Wheaton, Nathan Fillion, and the girl, what's her name? She's real famous. She hangs out with Will Wheaton. She was in Supernatural.
Amber something. No.
Felicia Day.
Felicia Day.
Felicia Day.
That's it.
Felicia
She
Day.
is
And I knew who she was from
goddamn
Supernatural, but it was them. They were playing Monopoly at Gen Con for charity several years ago, and I went up there and got picked stuff.
Damn, I gotta start getting to Gen Con. Fuck.
Yeah, for real. If I knew Felicia Day was gonna be there, I'd have showed up.
They were
She's
there
so fucking
doing.
cool.
They were doing something with because they run a board gaming where they did back in the day called Sun Dried Tomatoes or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
So they
super
did.
cool.
Yeah, they did a board gaming thing, and that was like the real big year of like pushes. So they sat down and they were doing different things throughout that weekend,
Okay.
and they just happened to approach me and asked if I'd cover their charity thing, and I'm like, "I don't know who you are." I knew who Nathan Fillion was.
That's
but
fantastic. Just the concept of somebody looking at Will Wheaton and going, "I don't know who you are. Why should I care?" It's just so
And that was
fucking
pretty much
entertaining
it.
to
And the
me.
guy that was with me was like, "Bob, Bob. I'm like, yeah, dude. You know how many people tell me they're a celebrity and I just one ear and out the other? And
Yeah.
then he's like, Will Wheaton. I'm like,
Who's that? Yeah, considering the fact that he was like I don't want to say a background character, but at best a secondary character on Star Trek Next Generation, like, that is just immensely entertaining to me.
I've never seen Star Trek, and
Yeah.
that was what I kind of told him. But then he was like, oh, you know, I also do audiobooks. And I'm like, wait a second, I know your voice. You did Ready Player One.
Oh man, that's fantastic. Of all things to be
Alright.
recognized by an audiobook.
I mean, he was also in Flubber though, so like.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh shit, it's been forever since I've seen that movie. Alright, back at the
Alright.
speed of plot. We have about an hour before we hit our time, just as a heads up for everybody. So, Clarence, Jack, you walk in with Theodore, squeaky, squeaky, through with the, as the plastic is rustling, and you manage to walk in, and this place is surprisingly, fungusy. Is that a word?
Fungus laden?
Fungus laden, infested, I don't know. But they
Overgrown?
so the piece of mushroom that you had seen in the doctor's
Uh-oh.
office. There's a large sheet of it that is just growing on one wall. Like, it looks like somebody pulled the bark right off an Amazon tree and just slapped it in for effect into this place. And even through the not the AC, the kind of the filtering system that is on a hazmat suit, you can kind of like get the humidity feel. It is very hot and moist in this place. As you kind of continue to walk in, like, you kind of feel a squish underfoot, and you realize that there's in certain places a dense moss, multicolored moss that has kind of covered the tiles and hardwood floors. And what would normally be a very forward, modernistic, kind of like hip church, as the kids would say, which I assume the youth pastor has said at some point. For what would normally be a very modern-looking facility, it is very overgrown at the moment. Just there's sheets of fungus, there's different colors that shouldn't be there. And Theodore is eating it up. He has got his camera out. He's snapping pictures every which way. And he looks over at Clarence. He's like, do you think this is where the tentacle came from? Could it be some type of vine that grew out of this, that grew sentience? No wonder they're covering this up.
Clarence looks at Theodore and goes, Theodore, we've been over this. There was no tentacle.
But there could be.
You're right. There could be a tentacle.
And he just kind of like is off in his own little world. You guys are in kind of a reception area in the front. There is a... Oh, hello.
You lost facts.
Yeah, it's all right. they'll pop back in.
They exploded.
There's a kind of like a little coffee meet and greet area. Two large corridors that go off to the side that look like the one side goes toward staffing offices and the other side looks like it goes toward the actual like a small auditorium, maybe where they hold like church or something like that. Where would you like to go? How would you like to approach this? You guys are now currently...
You know, I was going to say we should wait for Vex, but she left us and stayed outside, so...
It's the best possible time for my call to drop.
Best part of waking up.
Sarge, is there anything on the desk?
Yeah, there is kind of a reception desk. Walking over to it and kind of leafing through it, it's just like, have you come to Christ lately style pamphlets, or D&D is evil, or like no,
There's something heavy. A lamp,
I'd like
maybe.
to talk about my private life.
you're looking for something heavy.
If you come to Jesus lately.
Not heavy. It doesn't have to be like super heavy, but maybe a lamp or a, a paperweight, maybe.
Yeah, I'd say that there is. There, we'll say like a decorative paperweight. It's got Jesus' cross on it, and he's hanging out, being himself.
Gotcha.
down the
Hey, Clarence,
street.
look left or right.
That way.
For those of us who can't, since we can't stream the webcams at the moment, Brian just held up both of his hands and started comparing them and doing the left hand trick where he tries to trace out which of his fingers does an L, and then
But I had
flipped
it
both of them
backwards, so I was
around.
really confused.
Yeah, flipped around so that the L showed up on the other hand, and promptly got very confused.
Jack picks up the paperweight and underhands tosses it into the direction down the hallway that Clarence pointed out.
Okay.
I thought you needed me to throw stones for you.
I said pick up stones.
Let's.
What happened?
Is nobody gonna take the center throw the first stone, or is that just gonna hang out there for a while?
I mean, I still think the best part of waking up is fungus in your cup is a really solid.
That was a solid one. That was. All right, so you throw it down the hallway. What are you looking to get out of this? Or what?
Making noise to see if anything.
Okay.
Seeing if anything.
Oh, he did.
your video kind of cut out there, Bob.
Oh, he
Oh,
did.
All right, we can hear you now. There was just a point where it like froze.
Oh, I
and
gotcha.
just nothing happened. So.
okay. No, so the idea, like the first hunt, throw the change in the room and see if anything responds. So
anything
throwing
responds.
the paperweight across the room, see if anything responds to the noise.
Okay. So you do that, and this is in the direction of the offices or the sanctuary.
Offices.
You said
it was to the
offices.
left, right?
Offices,
Okay,
yeah.
Yep. So you huck the Christ statue down, and it hits the floor with a magnificent crash, and you hear three people go, "What the fuck?" from down that side. There were other forensic officers in here, so now you've scared the shit out of three of them.
I think we need to go. I think we should.
What
I'm
the
no
fuck
expert,
was
but I think
that?
we need to
I don't
go.
know. Did
We
something
need to
drop?
go the other way very fast.
So how do you guys want to announce your presence there, or do you want to go somewhere else?
I didn't want to announce our presence. He just told me to pick a way. I thought we were deciding which way to go.
This is Bob. I love the way you play
Bob,
Jack.
why
By
did
the
you
way,
do
this is
this?
fantastic.
Jack, we need to go. I think we should go the other right. The other way.
Hear me out. No.
All right.
Hear me out. We're gonna see if they discovered any.
They're gonna discover the statue crashed on the ground.
We'll say we saw a spider.
Not out of the realm of possibility, considering fungus has grown in this church. Okay. So, are you guys going to stay there? Kind of.
What do you think? What do you think, Brian? I'll
I
let
already
you.
told you what I think.
All right, we're moving.
we need to Scooby Doo the opposite direction. Zoink, Scoob.
Like, let's get out of here, man.
Jack plays it off really cool. I was trying to see if the cops were over there or over there. So now we're gonna go over here.
I love it. That's great
now
cover.
that you say that, that's a good job. Good idea.
Oh, take a fate
Thank
point
you.
for that. That's real. That is definitely in character. No, I was actually doing this. So
It's
you
very
guys,
in character for like Clarence to believe it too. You know that makes a lot of
that makes
sense.
a lot of sense. All right, I'm not mad at you anymore. So you guys do the you pick up and your legs spin in an accelerated circle, creating an echo or creating a after image, and then you go down toward the sanctuary. You hear a couple people talking in the hallway after you get in there. Do you guys shut the door behind you, or do you just kind of go in?
We'll shut. Was it open initially?
Yes.
Leave it open.
We'll leave it open.
Okay. So you hear a couple of the people talking. There's murmurs. You do hear things like cross, wasn't there, intruder, but it's not like an alert style murmur, like, oh god, like Metal Gear Solid, the fucking exclamation point has popped up above their head and they are now alert and looking for you. But there is a little bit of concern that creeps in, like, this cross wasn't here before and now it is, so what do we do about it? Meanwhile, as you guys have gone into the actual sanctuary itself, it's not like one of those big mega churches or even a branch off of one of those, like the inner city sanctuary of this church kind of thing. But it is like a respectable, couple thousand square feet of just like those cush plush chairs that they have. Like, they all stack up together, but, they don't actually suck to sit on like a pew does. You see kind of a small band set up on a small stage up front. There's a guitar or two and a drum set. However, the drum set is, you can only guess there is one, mostly because there are just sheets of fungus that have covered the entire like soundproof area that they are behind. And what would normally be like big letters of like new hope, faith in the founder, and inspirational, not quite Christian but Christian phrases that are scattered everywhere to not scare the kids, are just covered, like partly covered with moss and fungus and just like small vines and shit like that. And you didn't think it was possible, but somehow it got even muggier as you came into this room.
I'm just laughing at a poster talking about having sex before marriage will, cause issues, and it's just covered in fungus.
You can catch the fungus if you have sex before marriage. Thanks, Jesus. So what do you guys like to do? There are some small offshoots, small doors. It looks like one heads into like a small set of offices, like just one or two offshoots. Like, you don't go in there and it's a hallway into more offices. It's like the door and then the office, and there's one directly next to it that also does the same thing. Door directly into office. And it looks like one of them reads the pastor's office for this particular area, and the second one is outreach manager. You don't recognize the names.
Sarge, does Jack sense any sort of like heavy magical presence?
Yes.
In any
100%.
Okay.
Remember all of those, how the doctor had described that piece of fungus as having heavy teleport magic attached to it?
Yes.
It's that. It's that same feeling that you get off of it. You can't describe it like she does. It's apparent that she has taken a much more scientific approach to it and cataloging the different types of energies. But to you, it feels the same as that sample did. So it's very teleportation heavy.
She could be anywhere, guys.
If she's there.
Does I don't know how to approach this.
Start opening doors until we find her.
Sounds good. Let's approach
Okay.
one of the offices.
Would one of you guys like to roll? I'm gonna call it a common sense check, but pitch me something for inspiration.
A common sense check.
Essentially, yeah. Because there's something that you guys forgot, and I don't want to come right out and be like, "You forgot this."
Rolling for Survivor.
Survivor's a good one.
Ooh, good roll.
Yep.
I know.
So, Brian, you remember? Actually, you wouldn't because you weren't there. You went to the other one. Yes, actually you would. So you remember that when you were talking to that wonderful old woman at the other rescue mission, she did say when she came back that there was an altercation that kind of highlighted New Hope as the place where she might be. So the likelihood of somebody who has had an altercation still being there when there is a massive tent and lots of police officers and lots of people investigating when you're super scared and don't know what the fuck just happened potentially, or maybe it went
I
out
like
of
that.
control.
I like that we've gotten to this point. Before
Well, I
that.
don't, like I said, I don't want to railroad you guys
Yeah.
forward, but
Yeah,
when
yeah,
you
yeah.
guys are having problems, it is okay to ask and say, okay, we don't know where to go from here. We're not
So
picking up on things.
so she's probably not here.
What makes you say that?
Uh, why would you stay somewhere that's covered in fungus? And the police show up.
If I'm the one that created the fungus, my defense mechanism, or version.
Fair enough. I'm not an expert in this. Um, but if I had to guess, I've done tracking of cows and such like that before. When something happens around the cow, and the cow gets scared, it doesn't generally hang out there. They generally like to run. No, it just kind of makes
Okay.
sense.
I love the fact.
Let's say your cow is magical, and it jumps over the moon, right? Where does it jump? Where does it land?
Anywhere but where it was at.
I think we should skedaddle.
I mean, we could stay and like see, but like what did we come here for in the first place? I've
We're
just
looking
been following
forward
you guys. Your sister, right?
Yes, Clarence, my sister.
Okay. Do you think she's here?
So the question would
Does
be,
Jack?
if she's not there, where did she go?
Jack turns to Theo. Hey, Theo.
Yeah. He has to full body turn in surprise because the hazmat suits aren't exactly like made to twist with you. So you see somebody, basically a balloon with a camera go, "What?"
All right, hear me out, man. So I'm gonna roll a grifter for you.
Go for it. I hope you guys realize
Sorry,
I'm cool with pretty much anything that you do as long as you communicate with me, and that way I can help lead you to where you want to go effectively.
Okay, I rolled a 3.
Okay, what you doing?
Okay, Theo. What is actually happening here is they're covering up a Stranger Things interdimensional portal. We didn't tell you that because I didn't want to scare you, but I need to know. You're the guy when it comes to the weird stuff in Vegas, and you tend to know things before they happen. Have you heard anything else like this popping up elsewhere? Because we need to find out what's on the other side of that portal.
Okay. Uh. Theodore kind of stops to think for a minute, and you can see his tiny little brain breaking just under the strain of the sudden realization that this story is way bigger than he thought it was. And you basically see dollar signs kind of pop into his eyes as he's like, okay, all right, okay, this is a massive conspiracy then. All right, so this is Department of Energy
It's
style
huge.
shit.
It's huge, Teddy. It's huge.
Oh man,
Goes
okay.
bigger than anything.
I haven't heard of anything quite like this. But there were some other weird things I heard through the grapevine every so often.
Yeah, tell me. Tell me about it.
There was one place out in Spring Valley that wait, you guys are in Spring Valley right now, if I'm correct, right? I think so. It happened at other side of Spring Valley. But somebody's lawn essentially sank itself into almost like a swamp, like a swampy style, super muddy, the plants got all weird. I didn't make anything of it because I figured like the storm drain just overflowed again and flooded somebody's backyard. But like now that like you're connecting these things, that could be like the dimension creeping into ours. If this is what it looks like okay, that's and he like starts like muttering to himself as he's taking pictures, like, oh, it's super important to take a picture of this then, and oh, this is this type of fungus, this must be what they use to communicate, like, and taking pictures between
Yep,
all
that's
of it.
exactly it. Absolutely.
Yeah, so you do find out that there have been one or two other incidences of similar origin as you basically plow through his rambling. One place basically got, like I said, got kind of sunk into a swampy style backyard. Someplace else.
Yeah, real quick, Sarge. Back
Yeah.
in episode 1 of this hunt,
Mhm.
when Jack contacted Succo about any sort of things like this, he did mention a location, and I didn't write it down because I'm a terrible player, I guess. Is he referring to the same thing that Succo mentioned about the big metaphysical boom area?
Yes, yeah, round about the same area. Yep. That there have been
Okay.
larger kind of quote unquote explosions of metamagic happening. And he didn't actually say,
Okay.
he said in the Spring Valley area, which kind of narrowed it down to that homeless community that you guys had been to before.
Yes.
But you didn't know exactly where to start looking. So now you've hit this.
So is there a parallel between the Teddy story and what Succo told us?
Yes, yep, there is. It
Okay.
kind of confirms what Succo said, is that there were a couple. These specific instances are like essentially an uncontrolled outburst. Like, who would actually turn somebody's backyard into a swamp? Not many
Okay.
people. Somebody's dog got turned into a massive fucking frog. Like, this type of stuff being what it is, it seems like,
Somebody watched too much Shrek.
yeah, that. But it seems like these kind of outbursts have escalated until it hit here.
Okay. Teddy, you need to do me a favor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, anything. You've got me on the scoop of a lifetime.
Don't post these pictures.
Come again?
I said don't post these pictures. They're on to us.
Oh. Okay.
You can tell the story, but don't post the pictures.
Okay. All right.
Because
all right.
Because hear me out,
all right.
hear me out, Teddy.
Tell me.
They, Big Brother, have this new technology that can link these photos back to us through DNA that's left behind in the image. Don't post the pictures, Teddy.
I've read
You're
about
saving
that.
the world.
I've read about that.
Yeah.
Yes, I can confirm
It's-
it. You and I are on the same psi wavelength. All right, I got you.
Absolutely.
I'm sworn to secrecy.
And just remember, absolutely, you're saving the world, Teddy.
Yeah.
I thought it was your sister we were looking for, not your big brother.
Oh my God.
Quiet. Clarence.
Look, I'm just really confused. You're saying a lot of things, and I just don't know if I can keep up. There's a lot of
Vex,
big words
you
coming
did
out.
not appreciate that enough.
Nope.
They're apparently now, according to Clarence, looking for the big brother as well.
Sure, why not?
Okay.
So-
So on the other hand,
Sometime, don't tell them about this. You're going to be saving the world.
I got it. I will write my heart out and describe these as best as possible so they can't track us.
Absolutely. All right.
Clarence,
Let's.
do me a quick favor and actually roll social worker for me. I think that's enough. The tag of outreach manager has been kind of tickling your brain since you got in here, and normally, at least through
That's odd.
communicating with other people, like, you're not exactly a therapist, you're not a manager of anything, you're just a person that likes to help other people out when he can. But you have talked to a few outreach managers before on behalf of some of your friends. And you know that they generally keep some kind of, like, record of the people that they help, that they outreach to. There's usually something where, like, they at least record interactions. And you kind of got a figuring that maybe the outreach manager of a rescue mission would keep track of their intakes.
All right, guys. So I got us a plan. Um, you you ever been to a place like this?
No.
Okay. Well, so you generally when they take in strays off the streets, um, they like to keep track of where they came from, where they might go, and they generally like try to help them out a little bit. Um, I don't know where it would be, but it might be in one of these offices.
I'm all about it. Lead the way.
Hey, Max,
Mm-hmm.
can you roll me?
Oh Lord.
Let's see what you have real quick.
Oh Lord.
Huh?
Roll me professional.
Oh fuck.
Okay.
You have very sharp
Oh.
eyes for a performer.
Jesus.
Not only do you have to keep track of everything that's going on around you, especially during fire performances, you have to pay special attention to making sure that nothing touches you, making sure that your body's moving in the correct way, and making sure that on top of all that, you're also paying attention to your audience and making sure they're not doing anything dumb. Such as try and rush you, which has happened once. So
Yeah.
you're kind of, while you're still stirring shit up and kind of maintaining a sense of unease amongst the crowd, you do manage to catch that there's a little bit of not a tussle, but there's some action going on the other side of the tent, from where you are. And you notice that a SWAT van has pulled up. Now, it doesn't seem like they're rushing out. None of them have riot armor on, thank God. But they are a bit heavily armed for what is considered to be a police officer. They definitely have the bulkier vests, they have the helmets on, and they are now carrying ARs, instead of their normal sidearms. A few of them are wielding shotguns. And they're kind of spreading out a little bit and getting communication from the two police officers that you have chased off. And
Cool.
this doesn't seem to be a good situation because they're looking at the entrance of the tent.
Like, does it look like they're trying to contain what would potentially be a riot, or does it look like they're trying to contain whatever is going on in the tent?
A little column A, a little column B. If they were trying to control a riot, they'd be in here with shields. But they're also not
Fair.
they're also not directly coming up and, kicking people out. It does seem like there's a bit of heightened security that was called for, considering the fact that the crowd has chased two plainclothes police officers off.
Yeah. Fuck.
Is there a way that you would like to try to communicate this to your two friends?
I
Okay. I could see your mouth moving. I just didn't know if you were saying anything or not.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I'm just feeling away. Things are gonna go more sideways. We're almost upside down, folks.
Maybe. Would you like to text
Maybe.
them, maybe? Your
Yeah.
your socialite nature of instantly flip it out, like, take.
Yeah, I was trying to think of if I would know if they would have, like... Vex doesn't fucking notice text messages unless they're looking at their phone. But...
Let's just go ahead and say that all of you do answer your phone, because you get the notification chimes from iHunt. So, and you have to answer those fairly quickly.
Right, yes.
So everybody's
Cool. Then,
got
yeah, I'm
kind
gonna
of
text
their...
them.
Okay.
I would like to text them a picture.
A picture. Okay.
Hello? There's SWAT. Fuck.
Okay. Bob, Clarence, you guys remember that your zippers were on the back of your suits, right?
Yeah.
So when you both get the chime of a text message from the phone that is currently in your pocket
Hello.
Heh.
on the inside of the
Hey
suit.
guys, sorry,
No, you're fine.
lagged there for a minute for me.
Okay.
Last I heard was zippers on the back of suits.
Yeah, so you have zippers on the back of your suits. You have dressed up entirely underneath the suit. So when the chime goes off in your pocket of your cell phone getting a text message, and you start to reach for it only to realize that your phone is on the inside of the suit. And
Hey
it's,
Jack, how flexible are you?
and they're fairly loud.
Oh.
So go ahead.
Sarge, I'm gonna roll sliding hand.
Okay.
If I hold on
Uh,
to your glove, can you pull your hand out and like grab it from inside
Yep.
without having to unzip?
Absolutely.
I will say that you can get, just for that I'm not going to make you roll an extra. Just take a boost on this, which is a temporary +2 for your sleight of hand roll.
Well, professional. Jack's a magician. That's his job.
Yep. So 5, 6, 7. I can work with that. So you absolutely managed to somehow wiggle your arm, because it's not like big bubble hazmat suit. It is fairly, slow, like closer to the chest. But you do manage to wiggle your arm in, reach down into your pocket, and kind of pull up the phone underneath your mask. And you're touching it with your nose in order to unlock your password, because you can't really touch it with your finger. It's too tight. And you manage to see a picture of SWAT pop up on your screen from Max. And Max, what did you say in your text message?
Hello, there's SWAT here. Fuck.
What does it say?
Hello, there's SWAT here. Fuck.
Oh no. What?
Great,
What's
we're all
what?
on the same page.
And it also seems that the forensic team, you hear a shuffling down on that end as another "what the fuck was that?" comes and rings down the hallway. So we now have a dilemma that I'm presenting to both of you. You both get a fate point for this dilemma, but you're going to have a shit decision and a shit decision to pick from, and you got to pick one of them. You can either leave post haste, don't worry about trying to get in the manager's office, but you don't get information on where the girl is currently. You just have a trail that you could potentially follow to get to her. Or you break into the manager's office, try and figure out if there is something on where she is, and potentially risk both SWAT and forensics finding you. Now, again, this is not a decision to force you any particular way. I'm not trying to encourage you to leave. I think that you guys more than have the bluffing and fighting capability to get out of a situation where SWAT is probably not going to come in hazmat suits with shotguns, because that's just dumb.
Teddy.
So hear me out. We break into the manager's office. We lock it back up. They won't know any different. We sit there. They've already gone through here. They might not go through here again. There'll be better chances than trying to walk out that way.
There's gonna be the missing suits.
Potentially. Somebody could have just stole those.
Teddy.
Yes, what?
I like the plan. Teddy, we have a problem.
I mean, yeah, the government's hiding up interdimensional species.
Yes, and the government is discovered that you discovered it.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh no.
He just kind of like, his face pales underneath the suit. What do you mean? How do you know this? Are you one of them?
I am not. I am not. I am just an observer in a very screwed up world. You know how that goes.
Is that why you were touching the phone with your nose? Because they could just your fingerprints off the cell phone?
Yes, Teddy.
That's brilliant. They don't have nose prints.
Oh my god.
No, Teddy.
So precious.
Oh, love it.
The world is depending on me and Clarence getting out of this alive.
Oh my god. Don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
How good of lawyers do you have, Teddy?
Oh man, man, I'm a member of the press. They're going to disappear me if I do know what you're telling me I know. They're
Oh, no. Hear me out. Hear me
they
out.
hold people for crossing the border without lawyers. What do you think's going to happen to me who discovered interdimensional portals inside of a Christian church? I will have evangelicals and conspiracy theorists after me.
You go with Clarence into that office. Hide yourselves. I'm gonna go talk to them. I'm actually gonna be my hold on, what is it here? My hero complex aspect.
Oh, okay. So you're compelling yourself.
Yes.
Okay.
I will compel my damn self.
All right. By all means. So go ahead and take 2 fate points. Clarence, take another one. Max, take another one as well. You guys are all in a really precarious situation, and it can only get worse from here.
Yep.
I don't know what else to do.
I mean, that's fair. It's you guys have to extract somehow, and the SWAT team and the forensics team are not going to make it easy. So
Yeah.
this is
You two go in there, find out the information you need. If you guys get caught, good luck.
Since it has been a couple of minutes,
Yep.
I'm guessing while this conversation has happened and Max has not received a response,
you
Max is
did
gonna
get
text
a
the guy.
red message because you
I got
have
a
an
red
Android,
message.
so
Yeah.
you got left
You've
on
lost
red. How's that feel?
Anxious making. Max isn't anxious, just vaguely concerned, probably.
Probably.
Just gonna. Do you
Max
want
is
me
like,
to get them
damn
away
it,
from
I
the
need
door?
to find a new team.
I mean, honestly, like I could go disappear into the press. Nobody would fucking know.
Yep. So what is holding Max there? Legitimately. Like, now I don't want to encourage you to leave. I want you to find an answer to this question.
Oh, she did.
Oh, she died again.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if you guys realize this, but it's Ted Nugent.
Oh my god, I hate you so fucking much. It works so well, and I hate every minute of it. Ted.
What's happening?
So Theodore
Nugent.
in Gwen is Ted Nugent,
Yes.
aka the hillbilly rocker who went off his fucking rocker.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Did you not-
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't realize
that's
that. That's
I
great.
play in levels.
You do.
Sarge.
You do. This is 3D chess, and I'm sitting here playing 3D checkers. Like, this is... All right. Okay, so we're actually going to... Max, go ahead and give me the rationale and the process that they are thinking of, that the SWAT team is now basically heading for the door to try to guard it, and you're not exactly sure what's happening with your team. Is there...
Say.
Give me a good reason why they would stay.
Since, okay, they're waiting to see if the other people need a diversion, because if they have information or found her in there, Max is still like wants to get paid for this fucking job and also knows that there's more information in that building that they don't have. If they say, no, we don't need distraction, Max will probably just peace and try to connect the dots elsewhere.
Okay.
Because, like, they don't want to get arrested. Fuck that. But, like...
I think...
yes.
I
Uh-oh.
think
Uh-oh.
that you will most
Do I-
likely get another fate point here for that wonderful aspect that you have.
No
that
fucks
is
left to give.
titled Feral when Loyal.
Ooh.
Because fuck you if they aren't at least a little bit charming
Yeah, that's
in their
true.
own way.
Yep, that's fucking true. Yep.
And if they both get arrested, that leaves 2 roommate spaces where you don't know who's going to come in. And at least Jack
Yeah.
singing in the bathroom is at least somewhat on key.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. All right. All right. Whew. Okay, and in which case Max is going to, I don't care if this is instead of or in addition to, just, I'm gonna make a fucking distraction. Get the fuck out.
Okay.
What we're gonna do? That's a great question. It's a wonderful question. Max has not thought this through yet.
Well, we have on the movie screen or on the TV screen, you see Max's face of determination as they look at their cell phone and realize they've been left on red. And you can see the torn emotion on their face of, I need to peace, versus, but fuck, I kind of care about these guys. Like, god damn it. And
Yeah.
you start, like, ferociously texting. We don't know what's being said, but there's a determination on their face. We zoom back into it, where Clarence and Theodore are kind of shoving themselves into the dark office room. And Jack turns around as the door shuts behind them and steels himself for the lie of a lifetime and to keep him out of jail. And to potentially be
Clarence opens the door back
dismissed.
up and goes, "Good luck,
Whose
buddy."
turn is it? 'Cause I'm ready to go.
And on that scene, we will call it for tonight. With all of the 3 of you...
It's just like it's just like Clarence looking out like, "Hey Jack, Jesus man."
May the power of Christ compel you.
Growing up on this floor.
Yep.
Have you seen that? Have you seen that Vine? It's just the end of this like super Christian movie, and it's like, "Hey, Jesus man,"
Yep.
and then it starts playing "'Tis a Gift," like super slow.
So, I hope that this was a fun one for you guys. It was hilarious for me. Considering the fact that I came into this with literally 0 prep on what was going to happen or even what was in that tent, I think it turned out really fucking well. I'm trying to take my promise to take this a bit easier and let you guys take the reign more seriously, and I hope that kind of showed tonight. I feel like I did a pretty good job of not leading you guys by the nose, but trying to help and give you guys direction. I'm not sure if that was what happened or if that's how you felt, but that's something that we can talk about later off stream as well. How do you guys feel about the session?
It was good. I've enjoyed it.
10 out of 10. Wood session again.
Yes.
Fantastic. All right, so let's do on that cliffhanger. Let's do good thing, bad thing for the night, and we will find a way to loop Ginny back in 2 weeks.
4.9 out of 5 for this session.
4.9 out of 5. Okay, what was the point?
Session can't be over 5%.
Oh yeah, for variance.
No, for beer sessions under 5%.
Oh my god. Okay. So let's go in order on our... We'll go with the Discord this time. And I have Bob as first up on Discord.
After dark.
Good thing, bad thing.
Okay, so 2 bad things.
Okay.
Bad thing 1, the tech issues. Like, the tech issues started, and that caused anxiety, so I've been pretty anxious the entire session.
Okay.
So, my anxiety has been heightened.
It's reading 100 and bouncing off the pin. And then number 2.
What's that mean?
Okay, so if it's like a voltmeter,
Pressure.
you know, so
Yeah.
it goes from 0 to 100, and there's a little pin on the analog ones, and it's bouncing off of it, meaning it wants to go past it, but can't.
Yep. And then that just spawned me out, you know, being like, oh, I feel like a terrible player. I feel like I'm hindering the table. And all that cranks in my head. It's like, oh, Jesus, you know, these other folk want to play the game too, and I am causing an issue. You know, that's just anxiety.
So
Yeah, it is.
there's something I would
You're fine.
there's something I would like you to do from now on if you can. And number one, we all love you, like dearly. Like you are a crucial part of this table, and we love having you here. So when you start feeling like somehow you're impeding us, or that we're gonna dislike you for any of the actions that you take or things that happen, I want you to instead change the thought to that we're here for you. We're trying to assist you through these things. Because otherwise, we wouldn't care. We wouldn't want to have you around. We wouldn't invite you back. We want to help you through these things so that you can enjoy it with us. Because we like you. We want you around. So if you could try and do that for me in the future sessions.
Absolutely.
If you start feeling that creep in, just like take a moment and remind yourself that you're here because we want you here. Because
Just
we like
remember,
your presence.
Clarence would be
Thank
really
you.
sad without his Jack Pomegranate.
Yeah, exactly. So with that, what was your number 2? So you had your anxiety for number 1. What was the number 2 for bad?
Oh, it's just the tech issues. It
Oh,
started
just
with
the
the
tech
tech, and then
Oh,
it got
okay.
anxiety.
So tech was 1, anxiety was 2. Got it.
Yep.
Okay.
It's an avalanche.
Yes, it was, and it started early, and I'm like, oh no. The good thing though, the hilarious moment of Ohana means family, and just start
Yeet!
Ohana means family.
Oh man,
just like the accent you used where he's throwing people to help save my sister. That doesn't actually exist. I don't know what a cartel is, but it doesn't sound good.
I don't know about no cartel, but I'm gonna yeet these children until they're safe.
Yep, that's Clarence in a nutshell. Cool. I'm glad you really enjoyed the character interaction and the humorous moments we had. It's definitely kind of defining the table. I'm starting to notice, and I'm not at all sad about it. It is hilarious to sit down with you guys. That being said, well, I'm technically next, but I'll go last because I'm the DM. So the next one is Brian.
Finger guns. Let's see. Bad thing. I've just been kind of clocked out today. It's like all the heat down here, and the allergens out. It's just been kind of like, yeah, it's been ruining me, especially down here, and so I've just been kind of like out of it. But I'm trying my best to keep up with everything and keep him in the loop. I have been zoning out quite a bit.
Honestly, I
Admittedly.
think the times that you did tune in, and when you interacted with everybody, I thought were really good. Actually, I think you probably interacted more in this session than I've seen you interact in previous sessions.
Generally.
So
I'm trying. I'm working on that.
I thought it was really good. I thought you did a really good job.
And I really, really enjoyed watching Jack and Max spin a tale of bullshit to a poor EMS worker.
Not only
While
that,
I'm over
believing
talking
it.
with Ted Nugent over here.
Yep. That was really good. I really enjoyed that. All right, Vex. Good thing, bad thing.
Hello? Gonna do my bad thing first. I have also had a very strange day, like unable to focus on anything, which with my job, I have a big meeting tomorrow morning that's going to affect that a lot. So I'm just like the looming anxious. Oh God. So like that has been not great and has contributed to my lack of focus and zoning out occasionally, which is not great. And I'm trying to curtail that so that focus is actually on game while I'm here. And then good thing is definitely Jack spinning off of the like, oh yeah, you totally have a sister. Because I was just like, I don't know where the fuck I'm going with this. Oh, you have a whole backstory now? Perfect. Excellent. Great job. Thank you for that. It is wonderful and I love it.
Yep.
Didn't spend years in improv comedy for nothing.
Finger guns. My joking disappointment was that we didn't get to end the session with a Jack pun, like as it zooms out as we normally do. But I think we can definitely like save those special moments for when the actual episode ends, and it's just like that, Miami yeah moment, but nobody's yaying with him, and everybody's like, "Fuck you, man!" Like, this is dumb.
It's like that meme with the rap battle guy and everybody's freaking out except he's just sitting there looking all cool and nobody's freaking out.
Yeah, I like it. It's happened, what, I think 2 episodes now in a row, and both times it's been like, yeah, this is super cool pun, and everyone's like, no, we're gonna walk over here now.
Why would you say that?
Yeah, that's fantastic. I love it. I think it's a wonderful linchpin, and it just a great, like, group character moment.
Don't worry, I got the last word this time. Jesus, man.
Jesus, man. So good thing, bad thing for me. Good thing is this was a fantastic session. Like, I was honestly terrified coming into this, to the borderline, like, canceling the game, because I had done almost zero prep work. I got kind of a list together of everybody's aspects and stunts. That way I could keep better track of things and be a bit more on the ball for compels, which I think I did a better job of this time. But keeping those in mind is really difficult when you got to, bounce through 4 different character sheets. So having something separate helped out a lot. But that being said, that was pretty much it. I'd planned on doing a lot more, and unfortunately, with the last 2 weeks and getting a new job, it's been really difficult to sit down and focus on it. So good thing was it went without a fucking hitch. Like, this was fantastic. I didn't feel off at all the entire time. Even though you guys threw me some weird curveballs, it was interesting and awesome to sit down and have to, like, play off of you guys instead of having something planned and ready to go. And I think it turned out fantastic. I think it turned out probably one of the better games I've played, or managed to preside over, at least, because I didn't really direct much here. I think downside was, for me, that that lack of preparation definitely had a few moments where it showed. But again, it's not too big of a negative. I think that if I could do just a bit more prep work next time, just a little bit to keep a better structure, I think it'd be better. I would like to ask you guys a question, though, and I would like you to answer honestly, if at all possible. For my performance, did you feel that I kind of helped you guys a bit more this time? Did you feel that the session left you a bit listless? Did you mind me popping in and giving you some help to not to tell you that there's something there, but to kind of help direct the action and keep us from stagnating too much?
No, I actually appreciated it if we're going down the line. Tonight, like I said, just the anxiety buildup. So it helps to kind of have like a voice of reason step in. Because if you didn't step in, I would have been like, we need to search every room in this place. So, like, that, it helps tremendously.
Okay.
I think so. I mean, you left it up to us to kind of figure things out, but it does help to have a voice of reason.
Yeah. Okay. Brian, what did you think? Oh, sorry, Vex. Go ahead. You had already started talking. You go first.
Yeah, you go.
You go for once.
I like your shirt, by the way, Vex.
Huh?
I like your shirt.
Oh, thank you.
That's so
Appreciate
fucking
God's
Max. I love it.
I actually, like, okay. It did not feel like you were guiding us too much. From my perspective, it felt like we were building this scene together, and it felt like co-op mode for going through challenges, honestly. And it was really nice and helpful. Like, I feel like I would go, I tried a thing. I don't know where it goes from here. And you would be like, oh yeah, it goes right here. And I'd be like, oh yeah, cool, awesome,
Okay.
great.
Good. Brian, what'd you feel?
It felt good. It felt fairly natural.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I think Bob froze again.
Oh, he died.
I did. I'm here.
Yep, okay.
Okay.
You're good.
Yeah, it felt fairly natural. It felt more like story building than anything else. Giving proper and important details as opposed to just holding our hand. Because you weren't holding our hand. You were giving us the scene, and you did explain why it might be a possibility, but you only did that after I succeeded to check pretty well that, she's not there.
Okay. Was any part of this revelation that you guys have built into this disappointing? Such as, again, the fact that she wasn't there when you guys went in there. Was that something that you felt took away from it?
No.
Not from.
Your princess is in another castle, man. That's classic.
Okay.
I just felt like kind of an idiot for not realizing that would be an option.
I thought we were going to end the session tonight, so I like this particular hunt.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of cool that we get to build off of that a little bit.
Yep, I definitely am planning on wrapping up next session. You guys pretty much have it at this point, especially if not to drop, but if Clarence does work inside of the outreach manager's office, which I have full faith in you to do.
Clarence does not have faith in himself.
You guys should be able to figure out essentially what happened to her after this, because obviously she's not there now. Somebody harassed her while she was in there, which you guys discovered at the hostel, not the hostel, the rescue mission, and you also got confirmed of that at the clinic. So something happened with her, somebody else harassing her, and then shit just went south, and uncontrolled explosion of magic, and now she's disappeared. You should be able to figure out where she went from there, and once you figure it out, you guys will be able to confront her. So next session, we should be able to wrap this particular episode up. How that's going to occur, we'll figure out. But I will let you know that is what's in the cards. We're not going to sit here and play through this for. I'm planning on about 3 sessions per episode. That's about how it's starting to wrap up. As you guys have the introduction / beginning of the footwork, then you have the complication in the second episode of whatever happened, and then 3 is kind of the conclusion / flight / chase / whatever, and the resolution.
It's exposition, rising action, conclusion.
Yeah, exactly, something like that. It's about how it's starting to pan out. Save for the first training episodes that we had before we started streaming, which took, I think, 6 sessions to get through an episode.
Yes.
So.
Yes, it did.
Okay. Any questions for me? Anything that you guys want to say, shout out for, anything like that?
I have a question of, could we incorporate something for the future, maybe?
Yeah. What's up?
And this might just be Vex take notes while you're playing, and that's totally fine if that is the answer. But is there a place, maybe there is already one that I'm not seeing, where we're writing down what the aspects are for the location that we're creating as we go along? I know that I have trouble keeping track of them, and again, maybe the answer is just I need to take notes while we're playing.
That is on me. I had an area to do it on the splash screen, and I took it out so that way I could put everybody's character in, so that way the streamers, the people who are watching can look at it and go, oh, that's who's talking, that's who they're talking about. I can put a box back on the splash screen so we can start keeping track of aspects.
We can also do a separate slide that we as players can scroll down to, because we have a bunch of space here.
Yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, that's right. That does pop up as you scroll out, huh?
Yeah.
There's a weird kind of hiccup when that occurs.
I know, it's a lot. There's a lot of things, but I mean, Roll20 isn't perfect.
No,
but there's a lot that you can do with the extra area out there. That way we can have the splash screen up for everybody watching the stream, but we as players can maybe pop over to other screens and do all that.
Yeah, that's certainly something we can keep up with, and something we should keep up with, because aspects are obviously an important mechanic of this game. What? Everything fucking revolves around them. So.
It's fine.
Okay, so we could definitely incorporate that from now on. Also, I would like somebody to, if they could, take notes. I'm terrible at it, only because I get so involved in the moment that I forget to write down important things. Hey, there we go. Fantastic. I will give you access to our notes from sessions Google Doc. That way you can either transcribe it over or write it during the session itself.
Perfect.
That will help me out so much. Because I have this bad, I'm here now, but when I'm not here, I'm not here. And I completely forget so much shit that happened in the game. I'm glad we stream it, because then I can go back and watch it during the day. But okay, cool beans. Any other suggestions? Any other questions? Anything like that?
I just got questions off stream.
Okay. Sweet. Well, if
Yeah.
that's everything, then go ahead and say goodnight, stream, and we will be back in 2 weeks. Same bat time, same bat channel. Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, Scream.
Good night.